All right. Been waiting for this one for a little while, actually. Oh, my desktop audio isn't up. That's fine. Okay, we have Professor Dave Farina versus James Tour. This happened yesterday, or day before yesterday. One second, and it's going to be an interesting one to watch. And I'll be playing some Zelda in the corner, but I'm very interested to see how this goes. The title of this is "Are We Clueless About the Origin of Life?" And yep, we'll see how this goes. Because Dr. James Tour is he is an interesting fellow, and Professor Dave's here on YouTube, and we'll see. We will see.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Rice University for a debate between Dr.
Fuck, it was at Rice? I could have gone to that. Fuck. Oh well. This was May 19th, so 3 days ago, something like that.
Mr. James Tour and Mr. Dave Farina. The topic, are we clueless about the origin of life? My name is Alex Latham,
no, we are not.
And I am a graduate student affiliated with the Tour Research Group. I will be serving tonight as a timekeeper for the debate. Some quick logistics before we get started. In case of emergency, there are 3 exits in this room to either side of me and one in the back. Please only use the exit here to either side of me in case of an emergency. If you need to use the restroom during the debate and you are able to use the stairs, please exit through the back door so as not to disrupt the stage. The restrooms are located in the main building just around this way, down into the door right on the side of this building. You go in, take a right, and you'll see the restrooms very soon. In order to limit disruptions, we ask that you please silence your cell phones and mobile devices. We also ask that you please not distract anybody up front with any kind of photography, videography, flash photography especially. This event is being live streamed, and the video will be available for free after the event as well, so there really shouldn't be any need for pictures or videos. We also ask that unless you need to step out, that you do not stand up, because that would be pretty distracting as well for the live stream. We would like to thank Rice Events and those helping with the live stream and sound for making this event possible tonight. We would also like to give a special thank you to Mr. Farina for being here and giving his time this evening, being willing to visit Rice University for this debate. Now, the moderator for tonight's debate will be Professor Wayne Guida. He is a professor in the Department of Chemistry at the University of South Florida in Tampa, and a collaborating member in the Molecular Medicine Program at the H. Lee Moffitt Cancer Center and Research Institute at the University of South Florida. Professor Guida has also served as president and CEO of Schrödinger Incorporated. He was the executive director of chemical technologies at the Novartis Institute for Biomedical Research, formerly known as Ciba Geigy Pharmaceuticals. There, he supervised a group of scientists engaged in molecular modeling, protein X-ray crystallography, protein NMR spectroscopy, protein biochemistry, high-throughput screening, analytical chemistry, and organic synthesis scale-up. Professor Guida's current research interest involves the design of STING modulators, that stands for Stimulator of Interferon Genes, for the treatment of cancer, autoimmune disease, and anti-infectives. Please join me in welcoming the moderator, Professor Wayne Guida.
Man, that thing's dangling like nothing.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Alex,
I don't
for the
want to go down here
introduction.
yet.
It's a real pleasure to be here tonight. I'm glad that Dr. Tour asked me to do this. We have an amazingly good audience here.
That guy looks like
just about every seat is filled. So first, let's just start off by welcoming to the stage Dr. James Tour and Mr. Dave Farina.
I need to go over there. shit.
Okay, so
be
both of you make
Been
sure you're
following
at
this
your
shit for
neutral
a while.
corners. To my left corner of the ring, weighing
Fuck,
in.
I wish I wish I had
man.
gone to this.
I'm not going to do that. To my right is Mr. Dave Farina. He's a scientific communicator who hosts the YouTube channel Professor Dave Explains. To my left is none other than Dr. James Tour, who is the TT and WF Chow Professor of Chemistry right here at Rice University. Okay, give me a moment, if you will, to describe the ground rules.
I'm like
so,
really excited about this.
the way this is going to work is Dr. Tour will have the first 10 minutes to make an opening statement. Then Mr. Farina will have another 10 minutes to make an opening statement. After that, Dr. Tour will take 2 minutes to ask a question of Mr. Farina. Mr. Farina will have 5 minutes to answer that question. And a dialogue is permitted during the answering of the questions. After that, Mr. Farina will have 2 minutes to ask Dr. Tour a question, and Dr. Tour 5 minutes to reply. And this will go back and forth like that till 8:30.
It's gonna be an interesting 2 hours.
We will make sure, Alex and I, that they stick to the time.
Don't try.
But my role is beyond just that of a passive moderator. I mentioned the timekeeping, but in addition, if I hear during the debate something that, in my opinion, is not correct chemically, I will render my opinion. But I'll wait. I won't interrupt either of the debaters. I'll wait until there's a pause. Then what will happen at 8:30 is we will end that part of the debate, and we'll go into a question and answer session where members of the audience can ask questions, and I'll explain exactly how that works when we get to the 8:30 time point.
I need to
So once again, let's welcome the two
up there.
debaters.
Thank you. Before we get started, I want to do something.
Oh,
I've got a gift for Mr. Farina. Now, I was thinking, what could I get such an amazing person? And I've got you something that I am sure you do not have. This is something called laser-induced graphene. It was a process we developed in 2013 where a laser can hit any surface that's made out of carbon, and in this case, it's paper. And the laser can write a pattern. So what you're going to look at is paper that has been converted into carbon. The carbohydrates have been converted into graphene through the laser action. And so here's what we've got for you.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Nice gesture, thank you. Is this on?
Yeah. It's gonna.
Thanks very much, James.
So I have 10 minutes for an opening statement.
Oh shit.
Mr. Farina, as my guest, welcome to Rice University. Unlike Mr. Farina, I have never been in a debate before. So if it appears that I am not a skilled debater, it's an accurate assessment. A major hurdle for the origin of life research is the origin and persistence of enantiopure molecules. The building blocks of the building blocks, as I call them. Enantiopurity means that one mirror image of a molecule prevails to the exclusion of the other. This includes 19 of the 20 amino acids, the monomeric sugars, the nucleotides, and the lipids. But for the sake of getting through, I am conceding tonight to my opponent all those small molecules in 100% enantiomeric purity. They are yours. I concede them to you for the sake of time. So let's address other issues tonight, since my concession has been granted and there's still much more ground to cover. I am here defining clueless. Oh, this has gone off. All right.
Shit, where the fuck is Zelda? Oh, there she is.
Log back in here.
Spoilers.
Okay, they had to have me use this one because of the way the feeds are working. So
Sorry.
when
Sorry.
this logs back in. Okay, but I'll continue
I feel
now.
real
In
bad.
any case. I'm
Oh,
here
I feel
defining
not
clueless
great
in the
about that.
context of my typical usage. Let me open up this document.
Light dragon horn. All right. It has a mysterious
Gotta
healing
do it.
power
I
when
mean,
attached to a weapon.
this is just life, you know? And I teach in this room, so I'm used to this. This just happens. Okay. So I'm defining
That shit
in the
actually does
context
happen quite
of my
often,
typical usage.
not gonna
We
lie.
cannot solve any of the 5 criteria needed to make a living cell. None of these can be solved. Mr. Farina has complained that I am a religious man. I'm not just religious, I'm deeply religious. Or as he puts it, I'm a, quote,
Right.
super Jesus guy, unquote. While that's a label that I gladly embrace, and I believe that the Bible is God's word, I never appeal to that book of authority in my academic lectures or scientific discussions. Never, unless specifically asked about my religious convictions, like in a church or a religious podcast, I never couple those to my scientific criticisms of the origin of life research. I will not appeal to the Bible, to God, to miracles, to Jesus, to God of the gaps tonight. Often, origin of life researchers have a time of the gaps appeal, where they will say something to the effect, over millions of years, such and such happened. Those bedtime stories that are devoid of any precise chemistry may as well start with once upon a time. So I hope that my opponent will likewise not appeal to ill-defined time of the gaps arguments, and that he'll stay strictly on the scientific data, the data. As for me, I will stick to the data. The topic tonight is not about me, it's whether there is a valid hypothesis to make a living cell on a mindless early Earth. In discussing scientific data, it's not a matter of deception or lies. It is a matter of data interpretation. That happens all the time in science.
Right.
It's hard to interpret the scientific literature data. And as I do with my graduate students, we learn from each other. They from me and I from them.
Yeah.
I plan to address Mr. Farina as I would a graduate student seeking to learn from him tonight. The textbook definition for the characteristics of life is responsiveness to the environment, growth and change, ability to reproduce, having metabolism and breathe, maintaining homeostasis, and being made of
Breathe.
cells and
Okay.
passing traits onto offspring.
Interesting.
A valid hypothesis is one in which there is experimental evidence substantiating the proposed science. An invalid hypothesis is one in which there is no way to substantiate the proposed science. For example, my guest arrived to Houston from Los Angeles. A valid hypothesis would be that he flew to Houston on a commercial aircraft. That is a valid hypothesis because we can experimentally test the efficacy of commercial air travel. An invalid hypothesis would be that he drove here in a single molecule nanocar. Though that statement might be true, it is an invalid hypothesis since we have no experimental evidence for its validity. Nobody was present at life's origin, so we will never really know how life originated. But that's not what we're seeking to answer tonight. What we're seeking is an experimentally valid, verifiable hypothesis as to how life might have originated on an early Earth.
Right.
We must see the origin of life research data, not their unsubstantiated claims, even if those claims are written in their research papers. Mr. Farina, please show us their data. Show their data. My contention remains the same. One day I presume that we will have a valid hypothesis upon which life might have originated. But as of today, we do not. And with each passing year, the cellular target that we must disclose becomes harder to reach due to the increased realization of its minimal complexity.
See, this is stupid because he calls for just like, okay, so we'll never know it, so why even try? Like, if you go and watch all of Dave's stuff, all of James Tour's stuff, he's like, oh, it's hard. Like, that's what his argument boils down to, is it's hard, so why even try? What does it matter? We'll never know, so why even attempt to know?
A study in the Journal of Pragmatics in 2021 considered the trend of hyperbole in scientific publications. The authors Hyland and Jiang wrote, quote, "We trace the use of 400 hyping words which seek to promote, embellish, or exaggerate aspects of research papers. Our results show a massive increase in these items, and increases are most marked in the hard sciences," unquote. So while overblown statements are occurring in all fields, origin of life takes the cake. My opponent's favorite expert, Professor Lee Cronin, said in 2011 that he'd probably create life in his lab in 2 years. He did not. Another, whom he often cites, Professor Jack Sostek, then at Harvard, now at the University of Chicago, said in 2014 that he'd create life in his lab in 3 to 5 years. He did not. Professor Dimitar Seselov from Harvard University said in 2014 that life would be created in the lab in 5 years. It did not happen, not even close. Prebiotically relevant means that we are restricted to materials, procedures, and conditions that might have been available on an early Earth. These are the 5 criteria. These are the 5 criteria that have to be experimentally addressed in a prebiotically relevant manner in order to.
Okay, so we have polypeptides, which are proteins and enzymes, RNA. We have the what is it? The RNA model of life that everything sort of sprung from RNA, which is kind of sort of the pre-DNA part, I guess. I'm not a biochemist, so I'm sorry. I'm a physics astronomer person. Polysaccharides, carbohydrates. There's plenty of those around. The origin of specified information in the above polymers, so we need to know how we get those. Well, that one's easy. We know that from comets. We have amino acids and things that create proteins and enzymes and etc. Assembly of the above components in an integrated functional living system, namely a cell, not a merely randomly mixed system. That isn't part of Are We Clueless of the Origin of Life. That's saying how could we possibly assemble those. If we know any sort of way of assembling them, then we're not clueless. So
to have a
that's my
valid
take on it.
hypothesis for life's origin. We only have time for 5 tonight. Polypeptides, polynucleotides, polysaccharides, the origin of specified information, and the assembly of the above components into an integrated, functional, living system, namely a cell, not merely a random mixture of these. If my opponent is unable to supply all 5 criteria for life, then we're currently clueless on the origin of life. But
no, that's a shitty definition of clueless.
Since I don't think he'll be able to supply even one of the 5,
definition of clueless.
he will show that we're not merely clueless, but utterly clueless. While some would like to portray me as one of the very few people that does not accept the hyped claims of origin of life researchers, I maintain that overconfident supporters of origin of life, like my opponent, are being abandoned by the origin of life research community itself. For example, Mr. Farina's own experts, whom he likes to cite, are now backing away from their own overblown claims. His often cited origin of life expert, Professor Jack Sostek, now says that aside from nature's construct of RNA, invoking of, quote, autocatalytic sets was never chemically realistic, unquote. Hence, the prebiotic relevance of autocatalytic sets crumbles. It's over, according to Professor Sostek. His often cited origin of life expert, Professor Donna Blackman, now acknowledges that there are no known prebiotically relevant autocatalytic reactions that greatly enhance chirality of a substrate. The increases are minor, so no need to waste
so there are
time
increases
on
though.
autocatalysis.
So, okay.
His own origin of life expert, Professor Stephen Benner, an enormous figure in this field, now says that any group of randomly synthesized RNA molecules would afford, quote, 10 million or 100 million more molecules that catalyze the destruction of RNA, unquote, than catalyze the copying of themselves, and, quote, this will never give you life, unquote. Hence, the relevance of random RNA to make copies of itself bites the dust. It's over, according to Professor Benner himself. Origin of life expert Professor James Shapiro now writes, certain questions like the origins of the first living cells currently have no credible scientific answers, unquote. Evolution kingpin, Professor Richard Dawkins now says, quote, we know little more than Darwin did about how it got started in the first place. We have no evidence bearing upon the momentous event that
Dawkins has kind of gone off his rocker lately, to be completely honest, but
my opponent's favorite origin of life expert, Professor Lee Cronin, now writes and says on multiple occasions that, quote, origin of life research is a scam, unquote. And,
why is it
quote,
a scam?
there are lots of layers to the scam, unquote. A scam means a dishonest scheme or a fraud. It's beautiful. It's as if Professor Lee Cronin has been scientifically born again. Mr. Farina, I respect your courage to be here tonight. It's too bad that Origin of Life researchers are not here themselves to defend their own data. Maybe they know the shallowness of their own research, while the less informed cannot assess the shallowness. I'm looking forward to seeing the data with chemical specificity.
Oh, Dave will show it.
That's what I will be asking of you, so I'm telling you up front. Not the overblown titles, not their outlandish claims, not the once upon a time over 1 million years stories, but the data to propose a valid hypothesis to the 5 criteria needed to build a living cell, thereby overcoming our cluelessness on Origin of Life. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Farina, your opening statement, please.
All right.
Straighten up. Hey everyone, thanks to Rice University for having us here tonight. We are here because of James Tour. James is a chemist and also an apologist who lies about Origin of Life research on the internet. It's quite the double life. In order to understand why he does this, we turn to his faith. James has admitted publicly that he is a creationist. He believes that God created life due to religious scripture, which to him takes priority over scientific evidence. From his website, faith and belief go beyond scientific evidence for this scientist. Anyone who thinks this is not relevant to the discussion is delusional.
Okay, just to read here. Sorry if that YouTube thing ever goes away or not. I don't know why it's not. I want to read what it has. It says beyond.
As James.
God damn it! Why won't this go away? Whatever. What the fuck? Go away! Jesus Christ. Here. Okay, here. Based upon my faith in the biblical text, I believe, yes, faith and belief go beyond scientific evidence for the scientists that God created the heavens and the earth and all that dwell within, including a man named Adam and a woman named Eve. As for many of the details and the time spans, I personally become less clear. Some may ask what's less clear about the text that reads, "For in 6 days Lord made the heaven and the earth." That's a fair question, and I wish I had an answer that would satisfy them, but I do not because I remain less clear. So in addition to my chemically based scientific resistance to a microevolutionary proposal, I am also theologically reticent to embrace it. As a lover of the biblical text, I cannot allegorize. Oop, damn it. Oh, I should have paused that. Sorry. I could not allegorize. Where was I? Allegorize the book of Genesis that far, lest, as Tave in The Fiddler on the Roof said, if I tried to bend it that far, it'll break. God seems to have set a nature as a clue, not a solution, to keep us yearning for him. And if someday we do understand the mechanisms for macroevolutionary changes and also processes that led to the origin of first life, I will not lessen God. As with all discoveries, like with the genetic code and the double-stranded DNA was discovered, they will serve to underscore the magnanimity of God. As a scientist and a Christian Messianic Jew, I am unsure of many things in both science and faith, but my questions are not fundamental to my salvation. Salvation is based upon the finished work of Jesus Christ, Yeshua the Messiah, my confession in him as Savior, and my belief in his physical resurrection from the dead. Indeed, a physical resurrection is an atypical example where God works beyond the normally observed physical laws of science in order to accomplish his purposes. Therefore, it's called a miracle, and thanks be to God for his indescribable gift.
James is openly admitting that there's no science that could ever be done that will convince him that life was not directly created by God. He is ideologically bound to denying abiogenesis. He sometimes pretends to leave room for it, as he did just now, to seem open-minded, but he isn't. He's totally dogmatic. Therefore, his opinions on origin of life research are irrelevant, as he is approaching the field not as a scientist, but as a preacher. Of course, James pretends his rhetoric is scientific. He will bring up his H-index and list of publications. Less important is the fact that he has publicly admitted that his students do all the work and he slaps his name on the papers. More important is the fact that none of his research has anything to do with origin of life whatsoever, and does not qualify him in this topic, which is not strictly synthetic organic chemistry as he claims, but also astronomy, geology, physics, and lots of other areas he's clueless about. When it comes to this topic, James is a YouTuber.
In astronomy.
His embarrassing commentary takes place exclusively on YouTube or in-person events for science-illiterate Christians who share his biases and delusions. James knows that science is done through the primary scientific literature, and he knows that his inability to publish anything on this topic makes him completely irrelevant. That's why he regularly lies and pretends that he is published in this area, and his papers are ignored because of conspiracy. These papers are actually blog posts in Inference Review, launched by Discovery Institute propagandist David Berlinski, which is not peer-reviewed and exists for the sole purpose of making pseudoscience appear more legitimate. Jim's clueless ramblings do not even remotely resemble primary scientific literature, but he lists them among his actual science on his website anyway. Of course, when facing this topic, James somehow forgets what primary literature is supposed to look like. That's how he initially got into hot water, slandering Nobel laureate Jack Szostak. James was complaining about the prestigious journal Nature and what Szostak allegedly published in it, and how it doesn't meet the typical standards of the journal. He called Jack a liar multiple times, to the delight of his clueless, cackling audience. In actuality, it wasn't primary literature at all, but a web article meant for lay people, and there were no lies or inaccuracies, as James continues to claim to this day. His profoundly unprofessional and defamatory behavior has only gotten worse, as he now regularly attacks prominent researchers in this field or blatantly misquotes and misrepresents them. And that's why we're here, to highlight Jim's fraudulence. There is nothing to debate. The question as to whether we are clueless about the origin of life is idiotic. We aren't. Apologists like James train viewers to regurgitate the ridiculous lie that there's been no progress since the Miller-Urey experiment of the 1950s. In reality, we have multiple viable prebiotic synthetic pathways to all the relevant biomolecules and their polymers. And systems chemistry is showing us how sets of these molecules can have evolved over millions of years to produce the first protocell, which we will discuss later. James knows essentially nothing about any of it, but pretends to for his viewers who take him on blind faith, something they are quite comfortable doing. So we will get to James fumbling the science in a moment, but first it is important to establish that James is a brazen liar and charlatan in ways that everyone can understand without knowing anything about science. For example, part of Jim's script is to complain about the primordial soup model. He describes this as lightning.
I'm sorry, being from Texas and going that hard on a Texan, like I completely agree with Dave on all of this, but holy shit. I'm surprised he didn't like get shot by the whatever church Dr. James Tour goes to afterwards, because fuck, he is going hard on him.
Striking some water and molecules form a slithering creature that crawls out. This is
Holy
the dumbest
shit.
straw man in history. Yet he insists that all these textbooks say precisely this, and it is taught to undergraduates as well as graduate students. In actuality, the textbooks look like this. They contain summaries of much of the research we will discuss momentarily. Syntheses of biomolecules, ribozymes, autocatalysis, and other complex concepts. So he's just lying. He's trying to make science he doesn't like seem infantile and stupid.
That's what they do.
Another way he downplays the validity of the field is to pretend that almost no one is working in it. He claims it's a boutique field with no more than a dozen teams examining the problem. That's a lie. There are thousands of scientists working on this all over the world. He needs to lie about this because it's much more difficult to claim that thousands of scientists are all either corrupt or stupid, while only James knows the truth. A dozen is much easier to swallow, so he lies. He also pretends to be well-read in the subject. He isn't. He has admitted that he's read less than 5% of the literature on the topic, although in reality, over 3 million papers have been published since 2016, so he's read maybe a thousandth of the literature. More importantly, for the few papers he has read, diligence he projects is a facade. As to anyone knowledgeable, he reveals a level of incompetence that is shocking for someone of his stature. Take, for example, this study by Stephen Benner, a researcher James regularly slanders. Here, Benner was showing nucleotide polymerization over basaltic glass to form RNA. James notes that Benner washes the...
I just want to stop and say I've been waiting for this for like fucking 2 or 3 years. This is not disappointing so far.
Glass thoroughly with hydrogen peroxide and ultra-pure water, and then throws his hands in the air about how this makes the study not prebiotically relevant because he is washing away trace magnesium that would impede nucleotide polymerization on the early Earth. In his profound ignorance, James neglects to realize that basaltic rock is specifically rich in magnesium, information that anyone who had taken Geology 101 would know. Furthermore, he wonders where, oh, where could one find hydrogen peroxide in ultra-pure water on the early Earth, as though its use makes the study not prebiotically relevant. In reality, these are used to destroy biological material like bacteria that would contaminate the results. So, in fact, the washes are done specifically to make the experiment prebiotically relevant. This example is crucial because James will focus much of his empty criticism on claiming that research is not sufficiently prebiotic. But remember this example where James was so clueless that he does not even understand what the researchers are doing and why. This is his primary tactic. He skims the supplemental section of a paper, invents a technical flaw out of thin air, and pretends it negates the results of the paper, and by extension, origin of life research in general.
Holy shit.
But it gets much worse. James regularly botches concepts not just in geology, but also in his own field. For an example, we return to Benner's research where he synthesized ribose in prebiotically relevant fashion. James doesn't like it one bit, and when confronted with a 13C NMR spectrum demonstrating the presence of ribose, he not only pretends the data is invalid, but he goes to town with meme after meme, cartoon after cartoon, childishly mocking Benner for his garbage data. Here's his laughing Spanish guy meme where the whole crowd laughs in unison at the idiot Benner who thinks he got ribose when it's actually a mess of a billion compounds. But the joke is on James as his pathetic commentary reveals that he can't even read a 13C NMR spectrum, something he should have learned as an undergrad. James compares the spectrum to that of pure ribose when the sample is ribose borate, a different compound, with broad peaks due to rapidly interconverting forms. The billions of compounds are actually just noise, as the vertical axis is expanded to highlight the wider peaks. This abject failure has been confirmed by every chemist I've corresponded with, from Benner himself to J. William Suggs, Professor Emeritus of Chemistry at Brown University, and many others. The idea that James can't do something that an undergrad could do is astounding, and whether his brain ceases to function when examining this research, or he is deliberately lying to a gullible audience with no clue what he's talking about, his credibility is reduced to zero with this example alone. So that's a brief summary of James' tour. He's a toxic individual and pathological liar who actively promotes science denial and slanders diligent researchers. Or in my case, he scours the internet for clips of me in music videos to commit character assassinations. Or unleashes a barrage of insults about how Dave doesn't know chemistry, even though most of his students use my organic chemistry tutorials to get through his unbearable course. He baselessly shouts hype when his own research is full of hype.
Brutal.
He whines about being accused of believing in the God of the gaps when he objectively does. He publicly calls for the halting of an entire field of science he doesn't understand just to shelter his fragile, archaic faith. But today, finally, with no desk to hide behind, every tactic will be elucidated in real time, and he will be made accountable for his lies for everyone to see. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I will.
God damn.
We now turn to Dr. Tour, who will ask a question.
All right, let's go.
One of the things that we have to make in order to have life are polypeptides, where we take amino acids.
I fucking hate chalkboards. I hate
And
them.
these amino acids
Whiteboards
have to
all the
couple.
way. All right, we're going on an adventure. Ready? It's happening.
And when they couple, it will form a dipeptide.
What's my shit leaning to the right? Hold on here. God. Why didn't you have this shit on a slide?
This dipeptide
Oh, that actually did
is
add
one
weight.
of thousands
Dang.
and thousands and thousands that would have to form.
Okay.
If you were going to make a polypeptide, you'd need at least 100 of these for a very small polypeptide.
All right.
Mr. Farina, show me the prebiotic chemistry that would do this coupling. Be my guest.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need the board. So this was my second prompt, so I guess we'll circle back to this. But yeah, you keep going, show me the references in your content. But so you're missing a mountain of research, literally a mountain of research that demonstrates
Holy
this.
shit.
So, here's one. Condensation of amino acids to form peptides in aqueous solution. So we've got sulfur-4, oxidative mono. Carbonyl sulfide mediated prebiotic formation of peptides. There's another one.
That does not do it, and the two you showed do not do it. This is called asparagine, DK. They do not do it with these.
Okay, so what is Lehman's a fraud? Gadiri's a fraud? Are you calling them fraud? They published a paper, carbonyl sulfide mediated prebiotic formation of peptides. So if you're saying they didn't do that, you're
Show me the
accusing them of
example
fraud.
in there. I studied this. I looked over every paper you put up.
You have never studied anything in this area. Are you kidding me? All you do is go, show me the papers, and then I show you papers. Here, let's see if I can find that one exactly.
Yeah, show me the one exactly that does this in a prebiotic fashion. Show me. It's not there.
Okay.
I'm asking you to come up and show me the chemistry.
James, I don't need to write on the board. I brought actual papers. This is actual research.
Okay, show me,
Here you go.
show
Here
me
you go.
in that paper this example.
Okay,
This is
look
called.
at- this is the one you wanted, James.
Aspartic acid.
James.
This is called lysine.
James, look. This is the Gadiri paper. Here's the scheme. You want to go through that?
But
Aqueous, room temperature, you get oligopeptides. Okay, and it jumps to 80% yield with prebiotic oxidizing agents
but
like
not with this,
ferrocyanide.
because what
What do you mean not
happens
with it?
is this would participate. This would
Oh,
participate.
you want to do the side chain thing. Okay, well, we've got research for that too.
Of course, I'm speaking to the side chain. This is not
Here you go.
glycine. That's not
Regioselective.
prebiotically relevant.
What do you
That
mean
has
it's not
nothing to
prebiotically
do with
relevant?
prebiotic.
Okay, how about this one?
That sulfur compound was
Prebiotic.
made separately in dichloromethane using HOBT, which is a coupling agent designed by human beings for solid phase synthesis.
James,
That's how they made
are you
the
saying
thiol.
sulfur is not available prebiotically? It doesn't matter what solvent they use.
No, HOBT was the compound, that SH compound that you just showed was made in a separate reaction. That was in a separate reaction, and he describes that.
Okay.
I can show you in the paper.
Thank you. If you don't like that one, how about this Powner one? Powner jacks regioselective peptide formation. Acylated aminonitrile.
Right.
Wait, hold on. I got the scheme here.
It's not in there. You're going to look and look. It's not in there. I studied every one of your papers. Powner doesn't even use amino acids. He uses an aminonitrile.
Aminonitrile. That's a totally
that is
different
not
paper.
an amino acid.
James, that's not the same paper. You're
No,
talking about a different
there
paper.
is no coupling.
Look, he got coupling with lysine, regioselective lysine ligation, the most selective peptide ligation that tolerates all proteinogenic side chains.
But
he did this
does not
with
do
all
an
side chains.
amino acid coupling. He's got
What are you talking about? Prebiotic catalytic peptide ligation.
There's no amino acids there.
Yes, it's amino acids.
Okay,
What
go to the equation of that.
I don't-
Go to the equation of
I don't
that.
have that one, but you're just lying. You're also
I'm not
shifting the
lying. I'll show
goalposts,
you the
though.
paper.
Because by the way, you pretend that there are no papers that show any peptide formation in water. I just showed you a ton. You're shifting the
But
goalposts by complaining
How
about
am
the
I
side
shifting
chains.
the goalpost? These are the ones you've got to do. If you can't do it with these active side chains. You cannot.
But he did.
Powner didn't do it with the active side chains. He used an aminonitrile.
Okay,
There are no amino
no,
acids.
James, you're talking about a completely different paper. Peptide ligation by chemoselective aminonitrile coupling in water.
That's
That is
an
a different.
aminonitrile. It's
That is a
aminonitrile.
different
Oh
paper.
not
shit,
amino
we're going
acid.
real quick now.
I know that's a different paper. He takes this is just a different. He's not going through peptide bond formation. It's a
Nice.
different-
We're going
right,
real high now.
You have peptides. You have amino acids condensing. That's peptide formation. He's figuring out a different synthetic pathway that doesn't do coupling, but it doesn't matter. There's a
Holy
million
shit.
of these, right? Condensation by wet-dry cycling. Chemoselective
Nobody has
aminonitrile
done
coupling.
this. I'm asking you, Spur,
Okay.
for a specific reaction because half of the amino acids have active side chains. And these guys play this game of not including these ones that have carboxylic acids, not including the ones
James,
that have amines.
This is an
You
acylated.
can't do this coupling.
Acylated aminonitrile plus unprotected amino acid hydrolyzes the pH 7
Right.
to form a
Which
dipeptide.
amino acid? Hydroxylated ones, never carboxylated, never deaminated.
All proteinogenic side chains.
All.
From
protein-
aminonitriles.
James, I'm telling you, he did this with lysine. Okay, so the side chain thing is not a problem. So forget the fact that you can't handle that that peptide formation in water happens and has been demonstrated by about a dozen of these papers that I've shown you.
Only with an activator, as you said in your second series.
chemical
Your first
activator.
series,
Prebiotically plausible
your
chemical
first
activator.
series, you never said this. As with an activator, you're not coupling
what?
for your amino acids.
Okay,
Yes, I
we've
am.
reached
You're
the
not
end.
coupling
Carbonyl
The end of the
sulfide.
5 minutes. It now, yeah.
A good one.
So I just have one quick comment going back to the NMR, and that is when organic chemists run NMRs, they typically don't run them with boric acid present. If you're going to run a C13 NMR of ribose, you want the ribose to be as pure as it can possibly be.
But he was doing chemistry on borate minerals. That's why it was ribose borate.
So now it's your turn to ask.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll get
Dr.
back to the
Turner.
peptides in a second because that was my second prompt. But let me.
Dave knows his shit. He knows his shit.
1 minute. Okay. We'll continue looking at research in a moment, but first I can't resist confronting James about some of these lies he's been telling, so let's list a few and get some answers. So first, the textbook thing. Primordial soup model is lightning and then a slithering creature crawls out, and that's what all these college-level textbooks say. Again, no, they don't. He made that up, like a liar. Next, this boutique field of a dozen researchers thing.
Oh my
the millions of
gosh.
papers that
Where
comprise
are my
this field, I
little
went through a
ones?
handful of the ones I've read and made this list. There are thousands more. Pretty dumb lie, huh? And let's add one more. When I had some scientists on my content to help expose James as a fraud, one of them was a friend of mine, organic chemist Bruce Lipschitz, who explained how James was objectively wrong about peptides being unable to form in water, as I just showed you, which I'll prove with about a dozen papers, or I did, and will continue to do so. This hurt James so badly that he spun a ridiculous lie about how I took an unrelated clip of Bruce and stuck it in my content behind his back. This was so idiotic that
Where
I had
are
to get Bruce to
those?
make
Like,
another statement
they only
specifying
appear
that I
at that
requested the
point.
clip from him and that I had permission to use it, though James did not have permission to share their email exchange. In his emails with James, Bruce explicitly states that he was responding to the claims
All right, we
James
got
had made.
frost
There it
emitter
is
here.
in red. But his
good.
viewers can't read, so they just ate up the fabricated story. Now, again, remember, I'm demonstrating
Jeez.
conclusively that James is a pathological liar. This is important because James also lies about science that goes over most people's heads. So by proving to you what a liar he is, you are now primed to realize how he is lying about all the complex details of origin of life research as well. This way, you won't just nod your head and assume James must be right. So let's begin. Let's begin with the textbook thing. Why would you tell this dumb lie, James? Why would you tell this lie?
Yes, you think you've been taught things that are the whole thing about molecules in a product. Okay, so there is a primordial soup model, and there is no understanding of what's happening in this primordial soup. And you talk to people, and this is exactly what they see. They talk about the primordial soup model in all of these textbooks. That's your question.
This is the primordial soup model. It just means some molecules in water. That's what it means.
Look, you were absolutely clueless on
James.
polypeptides. You never gave me the coupling for that reaction.
He
I want
showed
you to
the
notice,
papers,
I'm
though.
going to narrate. This is my time
James.
now. I want you to notice
No.
he didn't answer the question. I invited him to come up to show me the chemistry, how this is done.
No, I
he
did.
did not. He did not.
He
And
showed
now
the
you want me to
papers
say,
with-
Now, this is the
No,
question. The
he-
question is,
in
I
this-
just told you.
In this YouTube video, he has these papers listed down here. It's all here. Like, he doesn't go into these. He knows. Whatever. Let's keep going.
The
He's just
primordial
confusing it.
soup model
James.
is nonsense, and this is in these textbooks.
You
and
think
this is
that
taught over and
molecules
over
turning
again.
into slithering
Lightcast
creatures is
Island.
in textbooks? Show me the textbook. Show me
Yeah.
the textbook that says molecules form into slithering creatures.
Because this is
Show it.
exactly the model.
No, he
that the
doesn't want to,
Molecules come
like-
together. These form higher organisms
No.
that come out of the water.
No textbook
Molecules
says
form
that.
higher organisms that come out of
Yes,
the water.
yes.
Show me the textbook that shows
I don't
that.
have the textbook. I showed you.
Because
There they
I
are.
showed
There they
you-
are. The smelly soup model. There, you have the list right there.
James, I showed
That's
you.
from my video. You have the list.
This is what the textbooks show. ribozymes,
But
autocatalysis, all
does
the
that
things
text?
that you
No,
pretend aren't real.
go back to my slide. Go back to my slide.
Amazing.
There.
Yeah.
Go back.
No, this
No,
is
no,
your
no,
book.
no. Go one forward. You show the text. All right. Now don't change it. Now, which textbook were you referring? Because I said right there, it says miniature seed,
shit.
prebiotic soup. Those are quotes from each one of
And
those
do they
books.
show
It's in there.
molecules forming a slithering creature? No, they don't, because that's a lie. And you're not going to run out the clock. How about the dozen people thing? Does that look like a
All right.
dozen people to you?
What I meant by that, the number of people that are doing the complex organic Sutherland Pounder type synthesis. This is exactly what Benner told you.
No.
Benner told you
People
that
all
it's
over the
a
world.
very
Benner
small.
told me I have
No,
hundreds of
Benner told
papers.
you on the video that there's a small number of people that are still doing the Sutherland type of complex synthesis. He says most of the area
Origin
is
of
not
Life
doing that
community is a
anymore.
boutique community. It's a small number of people. It's a dozen people.
It was in
That's what you
reference
said.
to
No.
the number of people that are doing the complex Sutherland
shit.
type
Don't
synthesis.
throw that
Origin of
away. I
Life
need that.
community.
God
The
damn
Origin
it.
of Life community. You're talking about the field in general. How about the Bruce thing? This was pretty dumb, right? He just took one of the guy's videos and stuck it in.
Because when I
How'd you do that?
contacted Bruce, Bruce said to me, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was unaware of
Dave
this.
asked me
He
to
said it
comment
in the
on
email.
some of your
You're not
writings,
showing the whole email.
and
I have
specifically about what we are doing. And does this show?
no. Why don't you show the page? Why don't you
wrong?
show the page where he said, I
Does
had
this
no
show
idea that
prove
this
you
is
wrong?
there. Look, I published the whole email.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you're only
here
showing
he
the one.
says that I asked for
No,
the
but
video,
in-
and he's talking about you. And then here you go.
No,
and
you don't
go,
want to show the one where he
took one
said
of the guy's videos
I
and
had no
stuff.
Oh,
idea.
this is fucking
I think
great.
you should
You're
apologize.
not
for this.
gonna address anything on that.
This was a pretty dumb
Let's
lie.
try
This
to
was
have
a really malicious
dialogue
lie.
instead of people shouting at each other. So maybe take turns.
I think an apology is in order for this lie, James. Pretty dumb lie. Pretty dumb lie to tell.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think we can all
Holy
agree that
shit.
we are establishing the pathological nature of his lying. Well, then you're blind.
They're coming to
He
his.
just took one of the guy's videos
Yeah,
and
let's-
stuck it in.
Let's go back to the. We have 1 minute and 11 seconds left. 98 seconds.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
it doesn't sound like I'm
1
going to get an
minute and
apology
11
from
seconds.
James.
Okay, as far as this, he says that I called Jack Sostek a liar.
Yeah.
I did. And Jack Sostek sent me an email. He said, you were pretty hard on me in that talk. And I said, Jack, I'd like to call you to apologize because I was wrong to do that. I said, give me your
Okay.
number. He gave me his number. I called him. We spoke about this. He said to me, Jim, if you would join us in this origin of life research, we would get this thing solved. We had a very
Why'd
good
you say
conversation.
this was a
you
Nature
totally
article?
made that up. Because if you had spoken to
I
Jack
don't
Sostek,
know.
nobody made me apologize to him. I offered him my apology,
Let me
and
show
he
you the
accepted it.
primary literature, the journal Nature.
And I
Does this look like the
apologized
journal
to
Nature?
him.
And but you continue to call his work utterly, no, what did you call it? Ridiculous, utterly ridiculous.
Yeah,
About these
it
structures,
is
right?
utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, but
when
it's
he
not,
says he's
because-
going to have life in his lab in 3 to 5
Yeah.
years in 2014, and now he says, I can't even make the
Yeah,
RNA.
who cares? Who cares? You lied about this. Look, the structures are.
Oh, no. That slide, you can speak to Jack Sostek. He said to me, Jim, that slide was not well done. That was a copy from another article in Scientific
And yet the
American.
structures are
No,
correct.
Jack agrees with me. That was poorly done. There's no stereochemistry on
So
that sugar. When
it's
there's
an
no
article for laypeople.
stereochemistry,
Okay, I'm going
it's
to
not
call.
ribose.
I'm going to call a
If there's
close
no
to this
stereochemistry,
part of the
not
session.
ribose.
Let's move on. It's.
How long is this
Dr.
already?
Ford,
This is already 42 minutes in. How have I been? Oh,
minutes
I've
to ask the
streamed a
question.
little bit more.
Okay, my
Gotcha.
second
Question.
question is,
Let's also try to see if we can stick more to the science instead of diagrams.
oh, I
that
would love
show-
to stick
Well,
to
that
the
was my
science.
only prompt for the lies.
right.
It's important to establish that
Polynucleotides.
James is a liar.
Polynucleotides. You have to be able to make RNA.
Oh, he wants to do it like right now. He doesn't. He wants somebody to come up right then and there and show it. I know his. I know his moves here. I'll tell you what he's doing right now, too, is he's doing that because they probably can't show him this explicit singular technique, right? So what happens is he picks something that nobody's done, and he's taking up time with the debate, which is a strategy in and of itself, and he won't acknowledge all of the other stuff. He's gonna what's actually cherry picking. That's the perfect word for it. Is cherry picking these particular things that Dave probably doesn't know off the top of his head, and it doesn't really address the question of, are we clueless about the origin of life? Because I mean, already we've shown that we're not clueless about it. We don't know it entirely, but it's not like an off-on kind of thing. It's not a spectrum of, or it is a spectrum of getting to a place where we definitively know all the truths. It's like, oh, we don't know how gravity interacts with quantum mechanics, therefore we don't know any of physics. Like, that's stupid. And that's pretty much what we're doing here. He's basically saying, how does gravity relate to all of these things? I mean, not, he's doing it in reference to this origin of life, but if this were like a relativity versus quantum mechanics kind of physics debate of like, how do we reconcile the forces? Well, we can reconcile all of these forces but not gravity, therefore we don't know anything about forces, right? That's stupid. It's dumb. It's idiotic. And
you have to be able to take this molecule and hook it together many, many times to have a dimer of RNA, abbreviating the base this time as B.
Hey, we got the helmet now.
Abbreviating the triphosphate as P3.
I think we got them all. I think. Don't we? Do we? Yeah, we have the whole set now. All right, sorry, Link, you're gonna be freezing your ass off. Do I? Yeah, I have some cold resistance. Look at that. Oh, he's not resistant anymore.
What you have to be able to do is show me chemistry. I'm asking you specifically for chemistry. Not a bunch of nonsense here. Show me the chemistry.
Not a bunch of
peer-reviewed research. This reaction
not a bunch of research.
What? You get coupling between the 3' hydroxyl to this 5' site. Right. So you need 3', 5' coupling. To the exclusion of 2' 5' coupling. To the exclusion of branching. Every article that you cited in your videos, every article that you could ever cite that shows this coupling, shows this scrambling, you get significant amounts of 2' 5, significant amount of branching. And that's why this chemistry doesn't work, and that's why your own expert, Jack Sostek, even says that Benner's work,
people, turn off your fucking phones. God damn.
Was just hyped up. There was nothing there because he says he went with the hype. He did not go with the right coupling. Show me the chemistry. Show me this chemistry.
So first of all, this is completely idiotic. Nucleotide polymerization has been demonstrated on Montmorillonite clay for decades.
Yes. With 30 to 70% 2'5". I asked you for 3'5", which is what you need to have life.
You want to do me a favor here? I want you to read the title of that paper there. It's by your buddy, Jack Shostak. He's done some research on this.
Yeah, I know. And Jack Sostek even says he cannot get it. Functional art, except for tolerance for non-inheritable 2'5". How much tolerance? How much? Montmorillonite clay is 30 to 70%.
James, what's the first word in that paper? Functional. So we're talking about RNAs that still have catalytic behavior, despite having a mixture of 2'5 and 3'.
His amount of 2'5 to 3'5 is not 30 to 70%. If you have a 0.1%, you're okay because you'll have runs, but not 30 to 70%. Show me the amount. Your guy Deemer never tells us how much is there.
James, the
and
research
Benner
shows
never told us how much is there.
Functional RNAs. So it doesn't matter how much 2', doesn't matter how much 3'.
Oh, it certainly does. And what about branching?
My God.
It's not there. It's not there. Nobody has ever done this prebiotically. You're going to be looking through your papers a long time. It's never been done. Without an enzyme, it has never been done.
You are completely clueless.
It's over. It's over. You can't make RNA, there's no life. You can't make RNA, there is no life. You haven't made peptides, you haven't made RNA. It's over.
James, nucleotide polymerization has been demonstrated for decades on clay. You are literally pulling this out of your ass. This has been done for decades.
He's not
guys-
wrong.
None of you people know this research. None of you people know this research. You're just blindly trusting him.
All right, let's try to have some civility, please.
The adsorption and polymerization of nucleotides on clay minerals has been demonstrated for decades. James is lying, and people who are cheering for him have no clue what he's talking about. You're just blindly
shit.
believing him. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I-
let's look at it on clay.
That is rough.
Here is the reference on clay. Here is the reference on clay. Here, on
Yeah,
hot
this
Maronite,
is-
what did he get?
This is also pretty rough too, because this is at Rice, so more people are there that are gonna be in your like ballpark or whatever, rooting for you. Sure, home field advantage, right? That's what it is. He's sorry, I'm still with Dave on this one. If somebody's wrong and like he's showing them and he's like, oh well, it doesn't, if he just disregards all of it like all the time, then I mean, what can you do? Like, how can you possibly approach something that you've shown exists, and then they're like, no, I don't believe it. Like, what do you do with that? Like,
He got 67% 3-5, which means you have 33% 2-5 of the wrong linkage. 1 out of every 3 is wrong. Here he gets 75 to 80% 2-5. So now you have the vast majority 2-5. That's what you get on clay. It's right there, montmorillonite clay.
And it doesn't matter. That's what Shostak showed in
1
this
out
paper.
of 3 doesn't matter?
No.
It
amount
matters
of 3, 5
tremendously.
to 2, the 3 prime to 2 prime,
No. If you have a
still get
fraction of it,
functional
you're
RNAs.
okay. 1 out of
No.
3, Jack Sostek would never. How much does he have there? How much does he have? Tell me. You read the paper.
It says functional RNAs.
I
James.
haven't seen that paper.
means
You're
that
bringing
they
in
do
other
things.
papers which we agreed you would not do.
James, you're
and now
presenting
tell
yourself
me
as
how
an
much is there,
expert in
because
this
I don't
field.
know. I've not read that paper. You read it. Tell me how much 2-5 does he have?
I don't remember
All
every
right,
single
there
detail
we go.
of the paper.
You don't remember because you don't want to remember. You read the
no,
paper.
that's
You brought that in. We were not supposed to introduce any papers that had not been in our videos. That you agreed to.
James, here's what would happen though. If you genuinely cared about this question, what you would do is you would go to Google Scholar and you'd put in some keywords and you'd find this Shostak paper.
You would not
You're
find that.
hiding from it.
That has a trace. On clay, you get 37%. This says 80%.
oh, that's great. That's
You
so
can't have
fucking
1 out of every 3 be a wrong linkage. You would never code for a peptide with that.
But he
It's over.
says,
How do
like,
you know?
even
It
if
says
you have
functional
that,
RNAs.
if
You
it
have no idea what
functions,
because
yeah.
it doesn't work.
Do you understand that
The
RNA?
No, he's saying like, okay, you can't have 1 out of 3 that's wrong, or else you would never get an RNA. But he's saying, well, actually, no, we do have 1 and 3 and wrong, and we are getting functional RNA. So the previous information that wherever he got it is wrong, because we've shown that we can have that much discrepancy and still get the thing that we need for RNA life. So, don't
Fine,
know.
but that's not right.
Watching.
Do you understand that RNAs
No,
have
even if you
catalytic
have the
function?
wrong enantiomer, it doesn't work. Even Donna Blackman has said that in the papers
You
that
have
you
no
cited.
clue what Donna Blackman says. You quote mine her. You have no idea what her research is about. You just pretend to.
Okay, so there we go. I asked
Still-
him to come up
look,
here and
Shostak
show me the
paper on
chemistry,
linkage
just like I
heterogeneity.
would do with a graduate
Still-
student. I said,
still
show me the
recognition and
chemistry.
catalytic
He did
function.
not.
I mean, you
Done.
can say that.
Done. You can't do this, you can't make
You
a
can
cell.
say
You
that,
can't
you
do
can
that, you
cheer,
can't make a
but
cell.
you're just
It's
lying.
over, buddy. It's over.
Wow. Lies and cheers. Amazing. Lies and cheers.
Yeah, welcome to Texas.
So
Incredible.
just from a chemical point of view, though, we would need to know what functional RNA meant.
Having
Function and-
catalytic properties.
because RNA has
Look,
many functions.
It still has
so-
recognition and catalytic function. It lowers the melting point of the duplexes by destabilization, so separation can occur under reasonable conditions.
And what was the percentage? You got everything else written down. What was
James,
the
I'm
I don't
sorry
know.
that- I'm sorry
I don't
that I
know.
don't have an
You know,
encyclopedic
Benner's
knowledge
very
of
careful.
hundreds
He
of
would tell
papers.
us. It's
Okay?
in that paper because
But
that's what Benner.
you're basically
Shostak
calling
got
Shostak
upset
a
with
fraud.
I
Benner
wanna see
because he
what
didn't
people
do
are
it.
saying about this
Shostak would put that
afterwards.
in the
No,
paper.
that's another great one. The Benner thing.
There's another thing here, though. Like, people that are with James Tour are going to side with him, and people that are with Dave are going to side with him. There's going to be very little people on the fence, and those that are on the fence will probably side with Dave, or not Dave, with James Tour, because he's getting the most applause and everything like that because they are on his home field. So they're going to think that he's right because we have this like mentality of, oh, more people are agreeing with this person. So this person therefore must be right, which is just completely nonsense in science. Again, I'm interested in all of it. So I don't really have a horse. I do believe Dave more because he does show his papers, whereas James is picking and choosing particular, very specific things, and doing this sort of like straw man-esque argument or like, oh, you can't do this, let's just turn the attention away from all of this other research that we've done, and if you can't do this, well then none of it's right. So it's my take on it.
Yeah, we're going to get to the Benner one.
Okay,
because...
it's time to end that part, but I want to just pause. To have functional RNA, it has to do at least three things. It has to serve as messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, and
no. Messenger RNA. Messenger RNA. You're talking about features of modern cells. We're talking about prebiotic nucleic acids.
But ultimately has to do that. So what function is my question? Did he show that it performed? It has to at least perform one of the three. Ultimately, it's going to have to perform all three.
Yeah, I mean, it's replication. I'm not sure exactly in the context of the paper, but he's saying that 2' linkages don't matter. As though you people have any fucking clue what any of us are talking about. Oh, I know about RNA. No, you don't.
Oh,
you
shit.
No clue what either of us
He's gonna get fucking shot afterwards. That's tough. That's tough.
Answer the question. Anyone who thinks nucleotide polymerization to form RNA has not been demonstrated is clueless. It's been like, demonstrated by hundreds of researchers and is just
show us
right
here.
I just showed you.
Do it. You got hundreds of examples. Show us. You won't come up.
What do you want me to draw on the board, James? What do you want me to draw on the board?
Clueless.
Okay, well, let's go to the next round.
Yeah. That's why I brought a bunch of research James pretends isn't real, and you're all pretending to understand right now.
Oh, he's gonna get jumped. I'm very curious about this.
Let's go to the next round, Dave. You're next in terms of asking.
I agree with Dave, but Dave is very brash. That's something that I wouldn't do, but I'm a doormat and would let people walk all over me. So.
Question two.
All right. So we've been talking about peptides and
God,
nucleic acids, so I'll give a prompt on this too. So let's talk about biomolecules.
Oh, I showed
Amino
my
acids are
exoplanet
ubiquitous and even
models.
form in space, and Strecker-like synthetic pathways have been known for decades. Amino acids polymerize to yield peptides. Again, James has humiliated himself even tonight, claiming peptides can't form in water, no matter how many references I show him. Here are some of the...
Yeah, okay, so... That thing's so fucking funny. He dropped that fucking F-bomb.
Papers that we've been talking about. He keeps trying to talk about side chains because he hasn't admitted yet that this does happen. Peptide formation with prebiotic chemical activators. There are countless studies generating this. So the objective...
Holy shit, though. Hold on. Let's take a half of a second break so I can try and get more people to not watch me. Holy shit, though. Oh, shit. This... sorry, I don't know if anyone's in here. Probably not. There's one viewer in here. It's probably me, and that's okay. Do we have a Professor Dave Twitter that I can tag in? Because let's see. He actually looks pretty good with short hair. He has long hair on here, but he oh, it's Dave Explains. I gotcha. Let me see if Dr. Tour has his shit on here. I I gotta hold back for a little bit. It's pretty rough. Clearly, I mean, they both posted this. They posted this shit. Oh, it was actually streamed 4 days ago. Why am I not subscribed to him? Does he have a Twitter? He does. Games Tour. All right. Fuck it, I'll follow him. Needs to update his profile picture. Got a little bit more gray hair now, but that's okay. We're all getting older and losing our hair. Sorry. Line. That's yeah. That's a thing. Okay. All right, let's continue. This is wild. This is wild. I do not have the balls to do that, somebody, unless I was like, let's say about 5 shots of vodka in. Then I'll get on that level.
I'm very sorry, but they have been addressed, showing regioselective coupling even for lysine. When he objects to this, he's just lying about what the paper is about. Then don't forget condensation by wet-dry cycling, as well as totally alternate synthetic pathways that don't involve condensation. Next, plenty of studies show prebiotic synthesis of nucleotides, and their absorption and polymerization on clay has been studied for decades. These catalytic surfaces also protect RNA from degradation. This type of chemistry has been taken out of the lab and shown to work in prebiotic analog conditions, primarily hot springs, where biopolymers form efficiently and become encapsulated in vesicles. James ignores all of this research and just complains about aspects of experimental setup, like running reactions under argon, which is done specifically to avoid contact with the oxygen that wasn't present on the early Earth. Or he pretends prebiotically plausible reagents like DAP are not prebiotically plausible by only showing research from the 1950s instead of current research. He will wonder how nature knew to phosphorylate the 5' hydroxyl to get nucleotides, oblivious to research demonstrating.
So, see, what's interesting about this, too, I just have to add my 2 cents in, is, like, people will tell me about astronomy stuff that's going on. Like, science is so fucking huge that, and it's not any detriment to Dr. Tor, but he is probably doing his own shit, and this is sort of a side hustle or something, because he's a synthetic chemist, not a he doesn't work in abiogenesis or research, obviously. And you know, Dave is a YouTuber, and whatever he's doing, he has the ability and time to focus on this shit. So it's a little bit different. Like, Tor has to, I guess probably they have like TAs and shit to grade papers. Oh my god, if I had that, it'd be like a billion times easier from where I worked. But Yeah, so that's another thing to like take into account. But uh Tor is definitely cavalier in what he says, and he says it in such like a a fervor, for lack of a better word, um that people will decide to go along with him. I also, again, I keep bringing it up, playing into the home field advantage. So um yeah, I've watched them both. I've also seen Dr. Tor. He has this way about him that, I mean, just to be realistic, that a bunch of religious people do, where, you know, you'll point something out that a person can't explain, but then ignore all these other evidences. I don't know if that's a word. Um, yeah, and I've actually had to deal with that quite a bit with like the Big Bang and things like that. There's a few different realms of science that really you have to watch out for with religious people. Cosmology is one, which is part of my area. And then you have geology for the nut jobs that think the earth is 6,000 years old. And then you have biology or biochemistry for the creation of life. So it's a sticky, touchy subject. Fighting religion is difficult because how do you fight something with logic that doesn't employ logic? You know, how do you change somebody's mind with facts when they don't really give a fuck and they believe a 2,000-year-old book? So, I don't know.
Demonstrating that
Just my
protection
take.
by borate minerals yields precisely that. In general, he ignores decades of research and just spews his script about how we don't know how to get these molecules. But we do. So let's continue talking about this.
And even if we don't, that's like a great reason to focus research there, right? Like, and Dr. Tor doesn't, he thinks research in abiogenesis is a scam, which means that you shouldn't do it. It's like obviously the definition of a scam. So it's like, all right, so we're not supposed to research that and learn more about it. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Um, you would think that Dr. Tor would be cavalier on research in that area, but let's continue.
Okay, so there were so many there. You know, this is called rapid fire so that you can't answer anymore.
I'm just showing you
All
all
right,
the research.
so you
He's
cited
right
this
about that,
paper
too.
where they used sulfur 4.
Okay.
This is not just water, it has activation. Once you activate, it is not amino acids polymerizing in water. As soon as you activate, it goes from being zwitterionic, to being not zwitterionic. It functionalizes on the carboxylic acid. That proton gets freed up. That proton gets freed up on the amine, and then it can do the attack.
You're describing
No, wait,
mechanism
I'm
of
not
amino
done.
acid
I'm not done. This
polymerization.
is my section. Let me get done here.
This is us talking together.
Phenylalanine, and serine.
Where's my
That
spring?
is what he used. Alanine, phenylalanine. He had serine. He had the OH. He never used the ones that have the carboxylic acid, the aspartic acid that I told you. He never used the lysine.
Yeah.
This is the paper. That's why you couldn't get up,
you are
because
shifting
this
the
didn't
goalposts.
solve it. I read the paper. It didn't solve it.
That'll
Look
work.
at the list.
You claim
look
that
at the list
peptide
of,
formation
look at
in
the
water
list
was
of the
impossible.
ones that he used.
You claim that
It's
peptide...
not there.
James, you claimed that peptide formation in water was not possible countless
No,
times
it was.
in your content.
No, you said.
You never
you said, that
oh,
these,
it
no,
happens,
you
but
said
not
it
with
in your
lysine.
second series. You said with suitable
The second series.
activation.
Yeah,
That's the
chemical
key,
activation.
because they're no longer zwitterionic anymore. You said
James,
it was. No, you said.
amino acid,
You said
sulfur
peptide formation
trioxide,
in water
dipeptide.
was
This
exergonic.
is-
In the very paper when you were showing Lee Cronin's work.
This is also, I mean, I love debates. They're fun as fuck. You know, get out your popcorn, but very rarely in debates do you get any sort of answer. Just let's be clear, like presidential debate, pretty much every debate in the modern age, it just evolves into people yelling at one another, not actually having a conversation about it to change anyone's mind. Every debate that I've seen is just to reinforce either person's like demographic for them. Nobody ever really wins in these. It's just a big show. And in that area, Dave, since he is a YouTuber, has that mentality about him, that charismatic property. So that's, I don't know, just throwing that out there.
where you showed delta G was positive. It was endogonic. You said it's exergonic.
No, I didn't say it was exergonic. What the
You
hell are talking
absolutely
about?
did. You said
No.
it's exergonic.
It's endergonic. I know that it's endergonic.
No,
Look at
you
this
go
slide.
back to your video when you were discussing Lee Cronin's work, you said it's exergonic.
Nature does this with chemical activation.
And-
Lowers
and-
the
and it
activation
goes
energy,
back the
and it
other way.
happens. And then the barrier is very large.
All right, do you
Okay.
have, do you have a,
That's
you
really
asked me one
interesting, though.
specific question.
Amino
You
acid,
showed me a
sulfur
reference.
trioxide, dipeptide. What's wrong with that?
All right,
Explain
I'll
it to
tell you
me.
what's wrong. Don't move your slide.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
move your slide.
Okay.
I'll tell you what's wrong.
Okay, yeah, this is so fucking interesting to watch because I know both of their tactics, having been a professor and am a fucking awful YouTuber, but or small irrelevant, but I recognize both sides and what they're trying to do. You'll never get an answer or a definitive winner out of this.
You look right there. You look right there at the first one is alanine, phenylalanine, alanine, phenylalanine, serine, phenylalanine.
treasure.
None of them bear a carboxylic acid side chain. None of them bear an amine side chain. Don't you
Again.
see how he cherry-picked this thing?
Goalposts.
So it can only... I'm not
Goalposts.
moving any goalposts.
Is this prebiotically plausible dipeptide formation? Can
Not,
you give that?
not the dipeptide I showed you.
For these
if you don't even
residues,
have
for
one,
these
if you don't
residues,
even have
James.
one. Yes, this
don't
only
even have
gives
one.
you the, it doesn't give you the functional ones.
Amino acid, sulfur trioxide, dipeptide.
Only for half of
in
the amino
water.
acids.
So what?
What do you mean, so what?
But you're not
You
even
can't-
conceding that.
You have to have 20
You're not even
amino
conceding
acids
that. Yeah.
participating. They load the chemistry.
No, he's right. He is moving the goalpost because Tor said, like, you can't get this. And then he says, yes, you can. Like, half of them do it. And then he says, so what? Like, I don't know. That's a weird thing to... Tor said you can't do it. Dave said you can. Then Tor says, okay, but only 50%. So he just, like, dug himself into a hole there. He just said you can't do it. And then he provided evidence that you can. And he's like, okay, but not enough, right? That's not, yeah, not good. Not good argumentative technique there.
They keep selecting the ones that only work under their conditions. They can't do it with the free carboxylic acid. They can't do it.
That
You
literally
pretend
is
that
shifting
peptide bond
goalposts.
formation in water is impossible. I've showed you all
I didn't
of that
say it's
research.
impossible if you have activation. You only said that in your second series. And
I'm pretty sure that he just said it was impossible until activation, and then Dave's explained that they say it's activated. So I don't. This shit is wild. It's wild.
you know it.
No, you've never
You
said.
know it.
No, you've never said with activation it's possible. You
Well,
keep
he just
saying it's
did, but-
impossible, and you even play the clip of me going, "I have references," and then you just cut it
O-
off.
only-
And you continue to
Don't you
pretend that the research
understand?
isn't there.
Of course, I explained this to you. Even with Bruce Lipshitz's was proper activation in his.
Bruce Lipshitz's research was not prebiotically relevant. I never said it was. I was just having a chemist explain how you're wrong because it's useful.
No, but I'm saying the activation part was there. The activation part. You
What-
have another
what does
specific
that have to do
question.
with sulfur
Yeah,
trioxide?
bring up another.
Are you saying sulfur
You came
trioxide's
with,
not
with rapid
prebiotically
fire.
relevant?
I only remember this one. Do you have another question for me?
What is down
Do you have
here?
another question for me?
The question.
Come on, bring it on.
Oh,
There's
he's
no
get
question.
he
I explained a bunch of.
he is getting freaking very defensive because he's being backed into a corner. This is so fucking interesting to watch from like even a psychological standpoint, and I'm no like psychologist, but still.
Research about peptides and RNA that you're pretending isn't real. Right? You're just shifting the goalposts about lysine, and I'm showing you another paper.
Mr.
where Fowler
Farina!
got it.
Here!
What
go,
do you
go,
want?
Dude, he
go,
is so
You
amped
don't
up.
do it. You just talk.
Why
Show
would
me
I
the chemistry.
try? Why would I try to draw
I told you I would speak
structures?
to you as I would speak to any
James,
graduate student.
if
And I would
I-
tell them to come to
if-
the
if
board
I
and
wrote
write.
this,
Come to the board and
if
write.
I wrote
Show me the
this scheme
chemistry.
on the
No, a debate. This isn't the place for that. This is the place for like a lecture or to go over a very like in-depth article. Doing this shit on the fly, you're always going to catch somebody off guard. Fuck, we do it with like just random shit that somebody said that they probably don't remember they said it. So it's pretty funny. He clearly has not debated in his past, like he said, because this is I hate using the word, but like triggering for him.
The board, would you suddenly accept it? Why are you so obsessed with me using
Because
chalk?
you can't show a chemistry that's going to give you the 3-5 to the exclusion of the 2-5.
You're
You mentioned
jumping
Mach
around
Marilynite,
like crazy.
and I showed you 37%.
This is called the Gish Gallop, everybody. This is called the Gish Gallop. Oh, peptides? You got peptides? Okay.
Yep.
You don't get the lysine residue. Oh, you got the lysine residue? Well, you can't get the
Yep.
2' linkages. Oh, they got
Yep.
the 2' linkages. They can't get
100%.
this. This is his
100%.
tactic. I'm showing a mountain of research that invalidates all of his objections, and he's just denying it. I don't care what any of you guys are saying. None of you have any capacity to read this literature, and you're just blindly believing,
Okay.
James.
That's such a tough one. Because he's right. They don't have any fucking understanding of it in any kind of real sense. He could have, said it a little bit better. But yeah, very bold person for sure.
No idea what he's
Let's
talking about.
close this session. I have a couple of comments. One is we'll have the opportunity for the audience to ask questions at the end. So we'd appreciate
Okay.
it if the audience would not ask questions at this point.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Number one. Number two, I want to make sure everybody in the audience understands the term exergonic and endergonic. So that has to do with the free energy change, the standard free energy change.
See, I didn't
in a
even know
chemical
that.
reaction. If the
I
standard free
figured,
energy
I
change
saw the
for reaction
schematic,
is
but
negative or exergonic, it means the reaction goes in the direction as written. If it's positive,
What is over
it's
there?
endergonic, and it goes in the other direction.
Yep.
So just to
have
clarify
I been
that.
there yet?
And modifying the carboxyl moiety makes the reaction with the amino group work. So that's great.
Okay, and then lastly, the argument that you guys are having, the debate, I should say, that you're having.
I mean, it is an
about
argument. He's not wrong.
Nucleosides. I don't hear anything about the stereochemistry.
I've already given him the stereochemistry of all small molecules.
But it's
I've
worry.
conceded that.
That's my third prompt, so
I've conceded
we'll
it.
get to homochirality. That's going to
fair
happen
enough,
in a
but
second.
that is
Okay.
so important, of course.
Yeah, it's very important, but I conceded it so I can just get to these other things. Right.
Yeah, so
Okay,
fucking
polysaccharides.
crazy. It's good. It's interesting. What is he?
I want to take two of these and couple them together just to make a diamond.
I know his fucking tactic, and I'm not going to explain it again, but I just want everyone to be aware that he is eating up time with specificities instead of addressing entireties of claims. You can always find, like, stuff that we don't know and pull it out of thin air. Or not thin air, but it's disingenuous to harp on a very tiny part instead of looking at the entire research of a subjective and then figuring out the whatever you don't know. Like, we're doing that in astronomy. It's very similar
Dimer.
in
That's
that
it.
way
Just to
anyway.
make a dimer here. Make a disaccharide of glucose.
Yeah, this is just eating up time. And he wants another thing that I've known about professors and intellectuals, which I hope I never do, is that they like to seem like the smartest person in the room by throwing out all these like incredibly long words and this and that just to confuse people. And those people are like, oh my God, he knows these crazy words. He was being very, very intelligent, which is just not the case. And if you do that, you're going to alienate a lot of people. You're either going to draw them in as like blind followers, or you're going to alienate them. Both are bad. So again, very interesting.
What we've established here is that in this coupling, this is down.
Okay.
This is the alpha configuration at that center. We've
Where
also
is that?
established that this hydroxyl did not participate. This hydroxyl did not participate. This hydroxyl do not participate. In order to do this biologically, not prebiotically, but biologically, you have to use an enzyme that has about a thousand amino acids in it. So the probability of that forming randomly would be 20 to the 1,000th. I mean, it's just a crazy big number. If something's bigger than 10 to the 50th, you don't have enough time in the universe. Here, you wouldn't have enough time in a billion universes. Is there any chemistry that you can show me that's prebiotically relevant that would do this coupling? And you will say, oh, I argue that only enzymes can do this. You don't have enzymes because you couldn't make them here. You couldn't make them there. No enzymes. You're lost. We already established you don't have enzymes.
No.
There's no enzymes yet on the
Shouting is
prebiotic
totally
earth.
an
You couldn't
argument.
make them. You're clueless on that.
Okay,
Okay, well-
time is up.
I showed peptide formation and I showed RNA formation, and this entire talking point is a non-starter.
When you can't do it with half of the amino acids, you didn't make it with the peptides. When you
No.
can't control that 2,5 linkage that's 30 to 70% 2,5, you haven't made any functional nucleotide.
Okay,
so
you're
you don't
calling
have those.
shots.
Therefore, we shouldn't research it at all to try and actually find that. I mean, just granted, if he is right, Tor, like, it's still not a scam. You should be, I said this earlier, but championing more research for this particular area.
You're calling Shostak a liar because functional RNA was the first two words in the title of the paper. So you are actively calling
You remember what I
Shostak
told you
a
about the
liar
title of paper?
again.
Remember what I told you about?
Again.
It's a bunch of hype. That's why I said, Mr. Farina, show us the data. Show us the data. And you said you read the paper
I
and you
did,
couldn't
though.
find
I
out.
showed you a bunch
couldn't
of
find
papers
in
and
there how much 2,5 he has.
You just start
Shostak
shouting
is
and
very
then people
careful.
clap for
He
you.
would supply that number.
Okay, James. So check it out. You're completely unhinged and wrong
Okay.
about everything we said about polypeptides and
Try
polynucleotides.
another one.
However, let's take that out of the equation, okay? Because you said you're going to give me all the molecules, whatever you said earlier. Will you concede that this is a perfectly viable explanation for biologically relevant polysaccharides?
You only came out with that in your second series. In your first video on me, you said these just keep hooking on the end. Only when I nailed you on it did you come out in your second one and say,
he
"Oh, I
said, she
meant
said."
it had enzymes." Okay.
No,
and in
first of
truth,
all-
with
first of all-
enzymes, you can.
Why does him addressing it in its second series have anything to do with what he originally said? When people originally say shit, they're probably wrong anyway, and then you go back and study it, and then you make updates and change your models and everything. I don't get the point that he's saying, well, you did this in your first series, and then you did it in your second, but that didn't matter. You said it in your first series. It's not a good argument.
You can get it,
in my
but you
opinion.
don't yet have
You're
enzymes.
talking about peptides.
You don't
You're
have
just lying
enzymes.
about what I
That's
said.
why I put polysaccharide number 3 to show that you couldn't make
so
enzymes.
you're wrong, and we do have enzymes. But if you'll grant me the enzymes anyway in this magical world that you've invented, where will you concede that this is a perfectly viable explanation for biologically relevant polysaccharides?
He actually did say that.
Enzymes did it, just like they do.
He actually did say that. He's like, I'm going to concede all these things. Let's say they're true. And then he's saying, no, they're not true because we don't have enzymes, but he did concede the enzymes to him. So,
Today, can you wrap your head around that, James?
Give me a minute to wrap my head
Give you a
around
minute
it,
to know
please.
what enzymes are and
give-
what they do.
Just give me.
If enzymes exist, can we get biologically relevant polysaccharides? Yes or no?
yes.
Here is the enzyme
the answer is
that
yes.
do this. This
Hey,
is
what's
the
going
enzyme
on?
that does this. It is 98 kilodaltons. It's 20 to
How
the
you doing?
842. That's 10 to the 1094
Yeah.
possible scenarios. If you have
Now,
anything more,
is
Gosh.
that
than
an enzyme that does this
10
today?
to the
or is-
Yeah, his whole... I already said it. Fuck it.
That's the enzyme
You don't
that
have
did
Great,
enough
I
time
am
in our
still alive.
universe. In 14 billion years.
Wow, big
That is
numbers,
as good as
big
I can
numbers,
give you.
guys.
Big numbers. So this is the type of enzyme that you would have to
James,
have.
So this is an enzyme that exists today
Yes.
and is the product of 4 billion years or however many billion years of evolution. Not sure when this exactly came about. Is it possible that another
What have you been
enzyme
up
that
to?
doesn't have this exact sequence
I need to
could
get up
perform
there.
this chemistry? Yeah?
Well, let's take a look at that.
I mean, or you could just answer the
let me
question.
tell you something. Let's take a look at that.
Where's my
This is a little molecule, right?
thing?
This is a little 6-carbon
Huh.
molecule.
Okay.
Sure.
You know how
Weird.
much it took to make this? It takes 11
I need to get over here too.
enzymes, 4 of them unique, and 4 activators, and these 15 steps today to make it. You're telling
what
me
kinda-
on an early Earth there was
Oh,
some enzyme that magically.
Wait.
Cool. What'd you study in college? You probably told me, but I have terrible memory. It's a big one. Are you getting your undergrad or graduate degree?
Put this molecule
you're-
together.
you're-
This takes 14
You're talking
enzymes.
about a monosaccharide?
This is
James, remember Benner's research?
monosaccharide.
Remember Bonner's-
Monosaccharide. This is 10
Faster,
to the
okay.
65,000.
Jim,
Rats.
foremost makes sugars. Foremost reaction makes sugars. What are you talking about? You're talking about
Because
ribose?
they've never
We're
been able
talking
to
about
separate
Gotta get up
polysaccharides.
there.
or they've never been able to use those sugars for anything.
What do you
Because they're
mean?
Because they're so contaminated.
Where,
Name me
where
one
are you
person
located
that
at?
has- no,
Curious.
Name me one person. One
Like,
person
not
that has
specifically,
made
obviously,
A
but-
stereo-controlled reaction to make glucose.
Oh, cool.
Stereo-controlled reaction to make glucose, and that could ever separate it from the mess that you get.
Why
Zero.
would
Nobody.
they have to separate it?
Nobody.
Why would they have to separate it?
I don't know where they're still arguing because he gave him the enzymes at the beginning, so I don't know. Like, this is just eating up debate time.
You have to separate
This is
it.
pointless.
You have to separate it in the lab.
Florida.
'cause You need to
Okay, cool.
characterize it because you're a chemist.
No, because
Nature doesn't
no,
need
to
to
take
do
Florida
it
that.
on
man.
to the next step. There's so many.
Molecules that are in a mixture
what
can't
did-
do chemistry.
We're not
what did
too
Nick
much
Cronin
better
tell
than
you?
y'all here in
the
Texas.
foremost
I don't know, he's not my
reaction, you
favorite
as far as
billions-
stupid people go.
Billions of compounds.
Yeah.
In seconds to hours, you get
Yeah.
billions.
And that's why they do all
Florida
this
man.
research on mineral surfaces because it tamed.
The mineral
remember
surface didn't.
taming the
The
combinatorial.
mineral surface didn't take care of it. You want to get
No, it
into
did.
what Benner did?
Remember the NMR spectrum? Remember
Okay,
the billions of
let me-
compounds?
Okay,
and the
you want
NMR
me to
spectrum that you
address
can't read
Benner's
because you're a
problem?
buffoon?
It's
Here's
just
Benner's problem.
noise
All
right now.
You want me to address that? We'll address it. All right,
Foremost gives you
here-
sugars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, James.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you here. You're just in denial of reality, and it's unfortunate that you cannot read a
Okay,
13
here's
NMR spectrum.
Benner's reaction to make his 4 compounds.
Sure.
Here's his
Y'all do have crocodiles. We don't have those here. Louisiana does.
reaction, okay? So here he goes through this.
I don't know
did he
why I
do?
brought that
Here's
up.
The experimental procedure. What he did
Completely
is he
irrelevant to
silated
anything.
it. He silated it with this NO-bis trimethyl
am I doing?
trifluoroacidamide. He silated it, he ran, and then he filtered it twice. It was
get
filtered
this
twice
treasure.
before it ever got
Why
on
not?
the GC to filter out many of the things. And
Because he's doing characterization, James.
No.
He has to
no,
verify
he's trying to,
what
he's
he
telling
got.
us
Man,
to
they
make
are
four
going
compounds.
at it.
Here's
Holy
the 4
shit.
compounds he says he made, okay?
James, do you understand?
So
wild.
What do you think all these other peaks are? What are all these other peaks that he's
Yeah,
even
he
filtered
got
out?
5
now,
different sugars.
Now, let's even just say it was 4. Let's say he just made 4.
This is pathetic.
Oh shit.
No.
You're
let me-
covering for the fact
what-
that you
let-
can't
let me
read a
go over
13
this with you.
NMR spectrum.
Here he gives his
He's so yeah, y'all do have alligators. Which one does the death roll? Or do they both of them do it? Or they like bite something and just fucking go into Sonic the Hedgehog mode and start rolling, ripping an appendage off? It's terrifying.
half-life. He gives the half-life of each of these compounds on his borate glass, on his colmanite. Here's the half-life. You know what half-life means?
Sorry.
That in a few hours, half of it is decomposed. What did it decompose into, Steve Benner? I asked Steve Benner this very...
That is not what half-life means. I've done extension, like I took a modern physics class that was all about half-life shit. Half-life's different for every molecule.
question. You said it has a half-life. What did it decompose into? It.
And then he
These are
never
all
got back to
foreign
you 'cause
problems.
he's tired
And you
of
know
you
what Steve
slandering
Benner
Yeah.
said to me? You know,
I've got like, very, very sad to say, but I have like 175 hours in it. Oh god. It's a great game. If you're planning on playing it, you may see spoilers here. I could beat the game right now. I'm just trying to savor it and do all the things.
You know what Steve Benner said to me? He said nothing. He answered every other question but that. Then, so I wrote to him back in January. I tried to understand from him, how did he get that? Now, let's say he did have just 4 compounds, and he made 200.
I have no life. Yeah, pretty much that.
That would give you 10 to the 120 different RNA molecules. 10 to the 120. Remember, 10 to the 50, 10 to the 90 is the number of elemental particles in the universe.
Okay, we're a little
in the
bit
universe.
These numbers are
This guy made
Dr.
10 to the
Turner.
120 different molecules.
Yep.
It's totally useless. Totally useless.
Have you seen
This
this
is
He's
what he
so
We're a
amped
little
up.
bit over,
Funny.
so we need
Okay,
to go
I'm
now
done.
to the next
All right.
volley.
does. So,
Okay.
okay.
What do we got over here?
Is on me? All right. Let me get to my
Okay,
start.
cool.
Okay, let's talk homochirality. Living organisms use L-amino
This-
acids for proteins and D
one
sugars
second.
for nucleic
I've
acids.
given
The one thing that I don't know, and I don't want to know, like I don't want spoilers or anything, but I've basically explored everything except here. And there's no way to get into here. It's all blocked off. And I haven't seen a chasm where you fall down either. I'm completely fucking clueless on how to get into this portion to discover that. And the only thing I can see is this weird thing. And I have no idea how to get there because I've already been down into the chasm. That's where Ganon is. So that one's a stumper for me.
you all the
Many-
chirality. I've given it to you.
Yeah, this is my 2 minutes, James.
Oh yeah, for sure.
quiet.
Yep.
So first, it should be noted that Dave doesn't know chemistry. Farina had to
Absolutely.
teach James the definition of homochiral. He was using it improperly. But more importantly, James either fumbles or ignores all the research in this area. This all started when I cited
I've
a singular
normally
paper
been,
talking about stochastic crystallizations of amino acids.
I don't know if you've come in here. I came back to Twitch like at the no. It was like in November of last year because I've been focusing on YouTube. But then their policies, like I got some community guideline strike for spam and deceptive practices, which I've never done in my entire life. And when I emailed them to show me exactly where, like in my video that I did that, they wouldn't tell me. So that's kind of fucked up. I lost the ability to stream for several months actually. So I came back over here on Twitch, but I am still like on YouTube. So
In his content, James deflected to another paper, complained about EE
Oh, okay.
field for a while, and totally ignored the data in the paper, referring to this train wreck as having a field day compared with my ability to actually discuss the paper properly. If James would like, I
Wow.
can get him up to speed on stochastic crystallization tonight. But to
oh
give a
yeah,
brief
yeah. I emailed them to ask why I got a strike and got my live stream and video taken down. I was like, what exactly did I do wrong? Because they told me it was like spam and deceptive practices. And I asked them, like, where in this video did I do this? And they were like, go read our guidelines. And I've read their guidelines like 1,000,000 fucking times. And I've done nothing wrong. So I keep asking them, please tell me in this video what I did that was spammy or deceptive practices. They won't tell me. It's a fucking shit show over there.
overview,
I am still doing my YouTube stuff, but I've been kind of cutting my live streams back and forth. Not to put all my eggs in one basket, as it were.
we know that threonine and asparagine crystallize as one enantiomer. Research has shown glutamic and aspartic acid to do the same under
What do we
medicinal
got?
conditions, plus co-crystallization of all others in tandem with asparagine at yields and EEs James
Oh,
pretends
shit.
aren't real. Beyond this, deracemization has been demonstrated
Yeah.
via sublimation, so even raceme
Yeah, I got off my YouTube quite a bit because I had one that got monetized and then my life fucking exploded, as you probably know. So I decided to like get back into YouTube making videos and had to start a new channel, and I've been focusing a lot there. I was live streaming there like all the time, but like I said, I'm kind of splitting back and forth from YouTube in here, but still definitely a high priority.
Crystals can become enantiopure. Donna Blackman has done a lot of work in this area, so James decided to quote mine her like crazy in his content, pretending some things she said about parody violation somehow describe homochirality in general. In reality, her review, Spoilt for Choice, from way back in 2007, already summarizes many of the ways homochirality
This is
can have come
insane.
about.
This is the craziest
Which means
debate
we
I've
don't
ever
know precisely
watched.
how it happened, only because we know of so many feasible options. Then there is research showing how homochirality could have evolved at the polymer level rather than the monomer, but still prior to the emergence of life. And then more research discussing
I haven't been
homochirality
gifted
after
a
the simplest
sub in a
emerged.
long while.
Here is a handy chart depicting all the possibilities, so there are lots of
God
pieces
damn.
for us to begin this discussion.
Fucking back hurts. Being tall is not always
I
fun.
just want you to understand what the man has just done, and he keeps doing, is he's reading exactly the script from his YouTube video. He cannot speak chemistry on the
I
fly.
wrote this
He's
script.
reading
Wait,
the
what?
script from his YouTube video. That's exactly what he's doing.
I wrote this for
let me answer this.
Who cares if he was reading the
Look,
script?
I've already
If it's
given
right.
him the chirality. I gave it to him, but he has
Dude,
to
I'm
come
gonna
back
die.
to this because
Yeah,
he's got
but
nothing
you
else.
keep saying we're
All right,
clueless about
so
homochirality,
your
so we're
article
gonna talk
spoiled
about
for
it.
choice. What you said, your exact words, they're here on the screen. You said, Mr. Farina, you said, spoiled for choice. We
Been
know
playing
too many
anything
ways
lately?
that homochirality can have arisen to say for certain which one it was. Her own words, unquote. I got this from his YouTube video. Well, that's not what the title is. Let's read the title with me.
My Twitter extension? Do what? My extension. You mean my link? I just clicked on it. Twitter, I don't know what that is. Twitter feed plus. Why did I say it like that? Edit your extensions. Weird. I'll have to figure that out. I don't even know what that is. Sorry.
Spoiled for choice. Assessing phase behavior models for the evolution of homochirality.
Wow.
He said the title was one thing and it's a totally different thing. Now,
Warner?
he goes on. Let's look at the paper. Let's look at the paper. Now, she says...
I'm not sure. I'll have to figure it
Get in
out.
here. She says,
I have
in
no
this
clue what you're talking about.
magazine, Chemistry World, which is not a mainline journal. She says they are talking about models, and she's disagreeing with them. He says they are saying it's spoiled for choice. This is not what she's talking about. She's talking about phase behaviors here. So this is the magazine she was quoting from, and then she says solution solid
come on.
equilibrium, time is on our side. Dave says
Come
time is
on.
on our side means
Holy
that
shit.
that time doesn't hurt us in this. That's not what she meant. She's just using this as poetry in the sense that she says the next one, good things come to those who wait.
Oh, awesome.
You said, show me the data. You
Yeah,
wanna talk
I'm
about the
showing
data?
you the data. What
You
she
remember
shows
when
in-
you couldn't
no,
read
what
this
she,
paper?
Which Kirby?
What she
It was really
shows
funny.
in her own paper.
The
she
new one?
shows two methods, a kinetic method and a thermodynamic
You're
method.
running out the
The
clock. I don't know what you're talking
thermodynamic-
about. I showed you
I'm
about
not
Hey,
done.
that's what
I'm
I
not
said.
done.
He is
I'm not
running out
done.
the clock.
The thermodynamic method and the kinetic method. So here she says simply sublime.
Shit.
Are you going to say that that means something? No, she's
Yes,
just
it
using
means
the term.
something.
Now
Your
look at her
rationalization-
references. So here's the reference section.
Do you
go
know what
to
Come on,
those
kill him.
references,
Do you know what
her
sublime
own
Get him.
references.
Sublimation.
Of course, sublimation.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
Sublime. This is what she's saying. Simply sublime. It means.
Is it good? I
sublimation.
haven't
She's
played
not-
it
there's
yet.
nothing deeper here.
So-
You're trying to say that there's something deeper to time is on our
This
side.
is a-
You
this
even
is a
said in the
method-
video,
this
James
is a
has to
method by
understand
which
that.
It's just evolved into shouting
makes
now.
you
Let's
enriched.
look at her papers.
You're
Let's look at
pretending
the
it doesn't
papers that
happen.
she cites. This is a review article. So we go to the exact papers. Here's her exact paper. She's using chloroform. She's using DMSO. How relevant is dimethyl sulfoxide and chloroform in a prebiotic
You're cherry
sense?
picking. A lot
Yeah.
of people do this in
What do
water.
you mean I'm cherry picking?
I have to
You put
play
under
it. There's a
non-prebiotic
bunch of stuff I have to
conditions, you
play
can get
too.
synthetic chemistry to
Zelda's
solve.
just
This
been
is from
taking
Donna
up
Blackman's own
everything.
paper. This is the paper she cited in the review. The review doesn't give you detail. Then you look up
You're
the other.
cherry-picking
this
one
is,
aspect
wait,
of
this is
review.
her review article. Let's
Remember
look
when I
another
He
said
paper.
does cherry pick.
Experimental
Here-
section,
Hundred
tiny
fucking
detail
percent.
validates
Here is the
study.
paper for sublimation, all right? Here's the paper she cites for sublimation. You look it up. This is the paper by Cooks. What you do is you take your material here, you take your material, and you put it in this...
What does it have to do with the origin of life?
because we're going to see if it's really prebiotically relevant. You put it in a hot.
Oh my god, he's so fucking like annoying because he's arguing that abiogenesis research is a scam because like he's saying we don't know how life arose, and we don't, but we have a very good idea and are making progress. You'd think that Tor here would want more research instead of being like, oh, we don't know it, better not do anything about it.
Tube that's at 175 degrees, and right next to it you put a collection system that's at minus 78 degrees. Yeah, on an early Earth, that's really going to be possible. And so you have something 175 degrees, something at minus 78 degrees, and it's sublime. No, wait a minute. I'm not done. So she says it's sublime.
She's referencing a phenomenon that exists and then applying it to origin of life research.
In order for this reaction to work, she says this is her own paper.
This shit is even above my head. I'm interested in it for sure, but I'm not a chemist or a biologist.
Fractionation of the organic space dust,
which is totally possible.
via sublimation, and then it landed in a pond and
Where's my
magically crystallized under these very stringent
magically
GMSO
crystallized?
conditions. You couple these two
I'm
crazy
confused.
hard things together, then maybe
When
we could
the
get it.
temperature goes
There it is.
down,
That's
things
your paper.
crystallize.
That's your
Holy
paper.
smokes.
Read the paper. Look at the
He is getting
experiments. Look at
so
the
worked up.
references.
Oh my
It
god.
can't be done.
It's so
It's
funny.
going to be coming from one thing to the other. Can't be done.
Do you understand that we can get enantioenrichment enrichment by co-crystallization? You're going all over the place just so that you don't have
Come
to talk
on.
about the papers I'm showing you. Do you see all 12 of these amino acids are resolving at once? It's stochastic, so it's random every time, and you can get very high EEs.
I'm not.
Remember when you
I've
pretended these
conceded
The
it
hell?
all to you, but I'm
Oh,
telling
shit.
you, these are under
Go.
amazingly stringent conditions
But they aren't.
that are very
But they aren't.
Yeah.
But they aren't.
But they are. But
No,
they are. I
but they
showed you
aren't.
the setup.
Hey, what's
I
going
showed
on?
you the setup.
You showed me something that Donna referenced as a proof of concept that
I really wish I could have gone to this. I didn't know it was taking place in Rice, Texas. And that's like a 4-hour drive for me. I'd have loved to have gone there. And Dave here is he's the YouTuber. And you know it because he does not give a fuck about what he says in here as far as like courtesy and politeness and everything. It is wild.
she then takes into account for
And I
like,
am on
You have
Dave's
to read
side,
that
but
paper. No, the
She's
sublimation.
saying this is
Sorry.
chemistry that has been
Look,
demonstrated
I've given
with
you
some
It's
each of
tense,
the amino
I
acids
guess.
I cited in that paper. That paper, you
James,
got 1% of the
time
pure
is now.
material.
Hey,
You
look
got
at that.
1%. It's
One-
a very
one
difficult
more
thing. But
statement.
anyway, I've conceded
You
that
have
to
made
you.
a 10-hour
shit.
course
You
on
keep
abiogenesis,
coming back
and
to
you say
this.
homochirality, we're clueless about it.
You
and
just said
don't
homochirality.
show
Take it
Oh,
easy,
there's the
Topher.
word.
this
There's the
research.
word, homochirality.
show
You used
Thanks
it
for
over
dropping
and
by.
over again
It is
in
late,
your
isn't it?
videos until you talked to Donna Blackman. You used it over and over again. You
Yeah.
have many references to homochirality
You
referring to
in
small
your content,
molecules.
you talk about how we're clueless about homochirality all the time. That's why I show this to show
Okay.
you that we're not.
All right.
Crystallization.
The whole point of this, the title is Are We Clueless About the Origin of Life? And we're not. Like, we may not know exactly how it happened, but I mean that is literally what science is there for, to like make these discoveries. But we are far from clueless.
Okay.
Sublimation.
it's time-
These are
it's time to
processes
move to
by
the
which
next
this
round.
happens. Thank you. You can't hide forever, James. Can't hide forever.
Just a
God, he is-
quick comment about homochirality and enantiomerically pure.
All right, back to
They,
the sky.
Started as different terms, but chemical technology and not technology, but chemical nomenclature changes all the time, and there's been a blending now. People using homochirality when they mean enantiomerically pure, vice versa. So,
See, I'm, like I said, my realm is like in astronomy and physics and all that. But the homochirality, if you don't know, and you probably do, but just to, if I put this on YouTube, it's like called a right-handed left-handedness molecule. So they can be mirrors of one another. And like, if you don't have the right one and have the mirror, like shit gets really fucked up in your body really quickly. But that's like chirality, like a left or right-handedness.
I've never heard anyone say
You beat it?
World
Cool.
Ghost and have that.
I don't want to know about it.
And we
I
very specific
I got to Ganon earlier, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go get everything.
become blended now. They
Yep.
have very
Those also mean different things.
firm,
I probably won't beat it for like another 100 hours.
unfortunately used interchangeably, and that happens with that's already
That's
happened.
just an error, though, because they do have very specific definitions.
But like but organic chemistry is a language, and languages change. Nomenclature changes as well over time.
Yeah, but specificity and selectivity mean different things, so I think we should push back on people.
Stereoselectivity and
Yeah.
stereospecificity.
Can we get on?
Go
'cause
back
we
to the
gotta-
sky.
All right. Specified information is the next piece. Specified information. We have to have. some
No, I agree with you
information
100%.
for the cloning in a cell.
Sky
Here is
magic.
Lee Cronin, your favorite
Why
counselor
favorite? What are
on
you talking
Origin
about?
of Life. Here's what he says. He says because there's some contingent information
Sky
embodied
magic.
outside
Love
the
it.
genome. He goes through and he says how people have claimed to have made cells.
Ah,
This is
God.
explaining
Go
what
back
he
over
means
here.
by Origin of Life research is a scam. It is a scam. I say they're clueless. He says scam. Take whichever term you want. This is his favorite guy. He's come around. He's born again now. He says,
my
but coming
favorite
back to the scam is if we just make
He's really trying to hold back his religion, but you know it's like the foundation of his beliefs. I mean, he even admits it. It's just not a place in science for
this
that.
RNA, we've got this. You know this fluke event? We know how that's simple. Let's make the phosphodiester. Let's make ATP. We've got that part nailed. Let's now make another molecule and another. And how many molecules are going to be enough? And
The
then he
hell?
describes Craig Venter's work.
All the way
which I
down
talk
here?
about all the time. And he says, Venter says he made life. He says not quite.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
He facsimilated a genome from this entity, and he made it in the lab. And then he put it into an existing cell. He said he had to take an existing cell that has a causal chain going back to Luca. Luca is the last universal common ancestor.
Yep.
Not the first cell, but the cell from which all other cells on Earth are presumed to have come. He says there was something outside of this. He says you couldn't make.
Right, but you can't, like, how does he not understand that we're talking proto cells and not modern cells? Because we do have Luca, but it's not like that was the base blueprint. Like, for instance, you have to have something building up to that to get that. So it's that's misleading to say like we automatically went into like cellular
Make a
division.
cell from scratch. He says, but even today, all of synthetic biologists cannot make a cell from scratch because there's something contingent information embodied outside the
Oh,
genome
shit.
of the cell. This isn't Jim Tour, the religious guy, saying this. This is Lee Cronin, the non-religious guy, saying this. He's seeing what I see. This is what I'm saying. Where does the
Fuck
specified
off.
information come from, Mr. Farina? Where does it come from? Tell us. Here, take the chalk. Write it for us. Anywhere you
Take
want.
the chalk.
Write it for us. Tell us.
No.
Where does it
Show me
come from?
research.
Again, he's done this so many times. He's like, take the chalk, do it. It's wasting time, which is the tactic, and like it's clearly cherry picking the shit and not addressing the situation as an entire like field of study. Like, oh, you don't know how that works? Everything's wrong. So it's like being in physics. It's like we can't reconcile gravity and quantum mechanics. So fuck it. I guess the entirety of physics is wrong. Might as well go to the chopping board or the shit, not the chopping board. I don't know. What do they call it? Might as well drawing board. God damn, I can't think.
The chalk. Please, take the chalk. Okay, so Venter is a synthetic biologist. He's not an origin of life researcher. So
Oh, I
that
died.
is not actually
That's
terribly
funny.
relevant. There's some overlap, but that's not how life began. So when you take extant life and strip things away, that is not directly addressing the origin of life. So you're
Where's
taking
the
completely
That's
different
exactly
fields.
what I just said.
Information is in nucleic acids.
Exactly what I just
No,
said.
that is like that.
Nucleic acids don't convey information? Are you joking?
There is no information there to give you the prescription you need.
What do you mean, no information?
Because what I'm telling you is it has what is called Shannon information. It's information from randomness, which is not
The
specified.
sequence of monomers
you need
is the
specified
information.
This man is seeing it. Even Benner.
The sequence
you want to
of
quote
monomers
what
is
Benner
the
says about
information.
this?
It's wild.
I have that quote too. Benner sees the same
I'm
thing
surprised
that I'm seeing. He says
Dave
it's
didn't get
information.
shot
I find it hilarious
after
that you
this,
continue to pretend that
being
origin
in
of life
Texas.
researchers are pretending that origin of life research is invalid. Don't you think that's a really dumb lie to be telling?
Where is he?
You're definitely just pretending. You're taking, he's having a lighthearted podcast conversation, and you're pretending that Lee Cronin is going, origin of life research is stupid.
fuck?
All of my work is stupid. Why would you think anyone would believe that? This
Okay,
is
here he
idiotic.
is. He wrote it. Here he puts up this tweet.
All right,
Origin of life
just the
research is a
old-fashioned way.
scam. Somebody says why? He says because no one is really trying to actually answer the question or thinks it can be done.
What?
Okay,
Wait, what?
There it is, Lee Cronin.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid. I don't care who says it. We'll never know how it's done. So fuck it. Why even try? No, fuck that. Fuck all of that.
An origin
He's
of
sitting
life
in his office
researcher
tweeting
is
this
Right?
stuff.
An origin
This
of
is
life
what
Fuck
researcher
that.
is admitting that his entire body of work is meaningless. That is really
No, he's not saying
He's
his entire body of
clearly
work.
being
He's saying
facetious,
he's come
and he's being
to a
Yeah,
realization
I agree.
of this.
If we're being honest,
He's
slightly
come
arrogant.
he's come
Oh,
to a
fuck
realization
off.
that
God
looking
damn.
at the data,
He
the
came
material
to
must
Jesus.
have come from
He came to
outside
Jesus,
himself.
everybody. Yes, Lee Cronin is pretending all of his
Oh,
work
yeah.
and that of all of
He's
his
your
colleagues is
favorite
meaningless.
advisor.
James,
He's your man. Over and over again.
Oh, you wrote it on the
You gave him
board.
half of an entire
wrote it on
video,
the
Lee
board.
Cronin.
if I write
God
clueless,
damn.
does that win?
Oh, that's funny. God damn it.
James, you're bringing up
Oh my
synthetic
God.
biology because you refuse to engage with the actual research of systems chemistry,
Yeah.
which is my next prompt. So
He's
we're
the
gonna talk
one who
about
said
I need to get
synthetic
more,
biologists can't do
He's
this.
a
Here's
synthetic
Food or
biologist.
something.
He says,
He's
he
not an
says,
origin
and
of
even
life
today,
researcher.
synthetic biologists
He's
cannot make a
building
cell from scratch.
mimics of current extant life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
nobody can
trying
do
to
this now.
build
Nobody's
a
good
bacterium
enough.
which
Nobody's
is
good enough
not
today.
directly
You ought to do
related
it,
to
Dave.
origin
Why
of
don't you
life
make it
research.
happen?
What do you
The
mean?
reason you don't do it because the reason you think these guys have everything is because you're very shallow in your understanding. You believe this
No.
nonsense they
Can't
put
read
in
a
the title.
13C
It
NMR
said it in the
spectrum.
title, so it
You
has to be.
fumble
I
every
told you
single
the
paper
titles
you
are
touch.
hyped. They're hyped. Look at the
He is so frazzled. He said that he's never been in a debate. It clearly shows. He is getting fucking triggered like no one's business.
data. I urged you in my opening statement, look at the data.
Thousands of researchers, nothing but hype, and only James is right. That sounds really realistic, huh?
I'm
Yep.
done. I mean, yeah. You want to go on to the
God
next one?
damn.
I've got one more prompt, and that's it. So let's do that.
Oh,
one.
I've got plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pop out
I
that
got plenty
chest.
of barriers you got to get by.
Well,
the
we
last one being assemble a
You
cell
just-
for me.
Your prompts are all just clueless because I say
So
so.
we don't have a
clueless
lot
'cause
of
I say
time, so
so.
it really is going to only be one more
Okay.
volley.
All right.
God, I need to go make food.
Just
Well,
all right.
Dave,
So
Oh,
finally we
wow.
get to the most important concept that James is desperately ignoring. This is the one that debunks his idiotic straw man, where he wonders why nobody can synthesize a living cell. After all, if abiogenesis was some molecules floating together,
Can I
and
just
boom,
get
life
that
exists,
crystal?
why can't scientists do it? Well, newsflash: nature also didn't do that. What current science suggests is that RNA molecules
Shit.
with catalytic properties called ribozymes came
God damn
about.
it.
And some of these became self-replicating. And then systems of RNA and proteins enclosed in vesicles complexified over millions of years until a protocell is formed. Of the mountain of relevant literature, here are just a few that show how ribozymes form cooperative cycles and networks, engage in self-sustained replication, and have been demonstrated to
Shit,
evolve
fuck.
by natural selection. James is allergic to discussing anything that invalidates one of his mantras: selection doesn't happen on the molecular level. This is objectively false, and it is the key phenomenon that led from systems of random biomolecules to the first living organism. In order to hand-wave away this research, James makes completely unsubstantiated claims, like how replicators can only copy 10% of themselves. Nope, fully self-replicating ribozymes were shown as early
That
as
sounds
2002,
fucking amazing.
in some cases exhibiting
Get me one
Darwinian
while you're at it.
evolution, with many other examples by various mechanisms since then. And as early as 2013, ribozymes catalyzed synthesis of RNA longer than itself. Every time James whines about aspects of modern eukaryotic cells that are a product of 4 billion years of evolution, like CISS, interactomes, or anything having to do with DNA whatsoever, he's just desperately avoiding this mountain of science. He's never read any of this literature. He can't even define the word autocatalysis,
It's so wild.
despite me having
Crazy.
talked to him. And why?
Even presidential
Because
debates aren't this,
self-replicating molecules
like,
that
vitriolic.
evolved by natural selection. That sounds just a little too relevant to the origin of life, now doesn't it?
Yeah, tremendous reading skills. I'm telling you, he's reading from his videos. You don't have to watch his videos. He just read it.
Why-
The man cannot speak.
I guess the
chemistry.
research isn't real because I wrote.
What does it matter if he's reading from his videos? It doesn't matter if it's correct. Like, what? Who cares? Does somehow reading from your video script make you, like, incorrect about something? I don't know. Weird thing to attack.
Writing this text for him, and he comes in here.
I guess
But
research isn't real because Dave wrote
so
words
let me
and
answer
read
your
them.
question.
You
in
people
your
are
last,
idiots.
in your latest video, you said, because I say, well, why don't you just take a dead cell and bring it back to life? Because at least everything is kind of there. And he says, oh, you know, and he says, but it actually has been done. He actually says the words, it has been done.
James, why are you
he
jumping
has-
to a completely different topic? We're talking
No,
about systems
because
chemistry.
we're talking about cells. We're
That's
talking
straw
about
man.
bringing this
prompt
back to life.
was
This
systems chemistry.
man stood there and said
The
that they
prompt
took
was
dead
systems
cells
chemistry,
and they brought them
he's
back to
talking
life.
about something completely unrelated. Do
No,
you wonder
this is-
why?
this
is Yep.
Because he cannot address this research. Because he's talking about something totally different. He is a gish guy.
Classic straw man.
Hey, look over here. We don't want to
Class,
talk about
or no, what do they call it? Whataboutism? What about this? What about that?
You said that they took dead cells.
Not part of the
because
conversation.
The pig was dead,
James,
and so the cells must have been dead
is
too.
this an
Let me tell you what we do
example
in our
of
laboratory.
replicators
We will take a
evolving by
rodent
natural
that
selection?
is dead, take
What
its
am I
leg,
doing?
and keep the cells alive for a week. It was never dead.
extant
You said
cells.
after an hour it came back alive. It was never dead, Dave. Totally misinterpreted that
no, it
article,
was dead.
like all your articles.
But back to what I was talking about, do you agree that this research shows replicators that evolve by natural selection? Because it does.
No.
Do you?
No.
Oh, okay. So Gerald
No.
Joyce is a fraud. You're calling Gerald Joyce a fraud right now? You should
No,
be
because
careful right now.
he doesn't copy DNA. How much of the DNA did
What?
he copy? You read the paper, I read the
fully self-replicating. Fully
No,
self-replicating.
he did not
Yes.
fully self-replicate
Yes,
it. There's
fully
not more than 10.
self-replicating.
Show me. You got the
What do you
paper
mean,
there. No, show it. No,
Look,
no.
RNA enzyme, dude, these are
Yeah.
completely fully
Without
self-replicating.
It's
an
so
enzyme, it has
funny.
never been shown without an enzyme.
Do you know what self-replicating means?
Without an enzyme, it has never replicated more than 10% of itself.
An autocatalyst
God, I wish I were there.
is a catalyst that makes itself. From the prefix
Mr. Farina,
in
you
Greek.
have the paper. Show us
Okay,
in the paper.
What do
you
you
have it.
mean show you the paper? This is the paper that
Show
you're
me how
pretending
much. Did he say that how much of it was
fully
copied?
self-replicating. Fully
Not
self-replicating.
fully
James.
self-replicating. Not.
No.
It is not. Nobody has ever
Okay,
copied more than 10% without
Okay,
an enzyme.
What?
but
I don't
it-
believe
no,
that.
But
No.
it is. Yeah.
I don't believe it, even though he's
let's
showing the
see.
paper.
We've got a lot of these.
God damn. People are fucking stupid. I don't care if you have a doctorate or not. I'm
well, I already
fucking
showed
stupid and I have a master's.
Yeah, self-sustained replication of an RNA enzyme. Cross-replicating RNA enzymes undergo
And
self-sustained.
how
ex-
much
Wait, I
was
didn't cook that?
replicated?
Huh?
How much was replicated? How much?
James, fully replicated.
It is not fully replicated. No
Okay.
way. There is no
What
way.
we're
I
seeing
even
right
asked
now
Jack
is
Sostek.
James
I asked
calling
Jack how
Gerald
much
Joyce
of
a
this is
fraud.
replicated. It
Okay.
is not fully replicated. If
Yeah,
it was
you're
fully replicated,
lying.
he
It's-
would have said
it's
fully replicated. It is
Right.
not.
Fold amplification.
They take a long bit and they
This is funny because this is the issue with arguing like religious people or religion is that you can't use like facts. Even if you fucking put the paper in front of their head, they're gonna be like, no, I don't believe it. Like, how do you even combat that? Makes no sense. Like, how do you approach that situation to change a person's mind with like evidence and logic when that's not how their like foundation of belief or foundation of knowledge is based on? It's based off of like passion and gut instinct and shit like that. And they will die on that hill before they say that, oh, I'm wrong.
they duplicate this much of it.
James, how would
It's
it retain
really
catalytic
annoying.
activity?
Even if they could duplicate the whole
So
thing, you're
James
still
is
stuck
baselessly
because you couldn't
denying
make
a body of work
polynucleotides.
and pretending that no one will notice
Where did
and
the
pretending that you and
polynucleotide
hoping you'll
come
just
from?
believe him.
Where
We
did it
have
come from? You
fully-
couldn't make it. And you
Oh.
can't assemble
Oh,
a
here
cell,
he
and
goes.
You can't bring one
It's
back.
gonna write.
Something else, right? Switch to something else. Don't look at this research.
Yep.
Don't look at fully self-replicating molecules. I guess if I write clueless a bunch of times, I won the debate, right?
Yep.
Should I
It's
write
home field
non-clueless?
advantage. Oh, shit. Not clueless.
James, I've showed you prebiotically plausible routes
That is
to all of those molecules.
goddamn.
You did not
And
show.
the
I asked
assembly
you
of the
specific
cell.
chemistry.
The
All you can do
theatrics.
is write one word.
I
You
love
showed
it.
All
No
I can
chemistry
do is
because
write
you
one word.
understand
Every
zero.
time you
You
go
understand none of it.
clueless.
Gentlemen,
You cannot address the research because you don't want it to be true, and we all
That's
know.
exactly
I'm
what I
glad
just
you have
said.
mind reading.
Fucking
In addition
exactly.
to all your talents, you can
Well,
mind read now.
pretty much.
I guess Gerald Joyce is a
Gentlemen-
fraud, huh?
gentlemen.
He didn't do it.
gentlemen, this part of the debate has come to an end.
Shit. Shit got heated.
If there is nothing else we can say, one thing we can say is that it has been a lively debate.
Yeah.
So let's give another round
Love it.
to our debaters for this session.
He is so fucking like
But wait,
blunt,
there is time
Dave.
for questions. So if you have a question, you're going to have to queue up either on that side or that side, whichever
No,
side
right
is
back there. Right there.
whichever side is closest to you. And
Okay.
please, we only have a half an hour. Please limit your question to a single question. Moreover, that single question should take no longer than 30 seconds. We want to get as many questions in as possible. Address your question to either
Oh,
Mr.
shit.
Farina or Dr.
That's
Tor.
good.
Each of them will have 1 minute to answer the question. If it's addressed to both of them, it'll be 2 minutes total. If it's addressed to one of them, only 1 minute total. We don't have for dialogue in this part of the debate. We're going to start on this side.
Oh shit.
and then
Here
we'll
we go.
Back and forth.
Mr. Farina, you showed the formation of polypeptides. For the record, did the literature that you cited include examples of using unprotected amino acids that are functional with amino or carboxylic groups?
Yeah, I showed you the one by Powner.
I didn't see anything functionalized with amino
There
or
was no amino
carboxylic
acid
groups
there.
that
They
were
were
free.
unprotected. They were
No,
unprotected.
they were aminonitriles.
No, you're
Dr.
talking
Jordan.
about a completely different paper, James. You're talking about a different synthetic pathway to get peptides where he didn't go through amino acid condensation. I'm talking about a completely different paper where he did indeed get coupling and there was no interference from side chains, even lysine.
I didn't see you show that one.
We
The
talked
ones
about
that
it
you
multiple
showed them,
times.
You showed the ones without, you mentioned hydroxyl groups. You didn't show something unprotected with amino or carboxylate groups. So I just wanted for the record to confirm on that.
No, I did. That one.
Specifically to amino or carboxylate. You did mention about hydroxyl, thank you for that. But for the amino and carboxylate groups, which are very reactive and very important because they are in a
Sorry,
lot
guys,
of
I got a lot of slides
amino
here.
acids.
Can we make sure that these papers are
Here you go.
posted on
Okay.
this
Yeah, he did.
All on his
The
He
most
linked all of
selective
his
peptide
papers.
ligation that
on this
tolerates
video?
all proteinogenic side chains.
Yeah.
All.
Now my
All
answer to
protein
that is, thank you, what she said.
Right.
Next
Thank
question.
you
What?
for reminding us about the paper I showed that does answer the question.
Next question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Tor, firstly, can I write my question on the blackboard?
You have
No,
30 seconds for your question according to the
okay.
moderator.
So if
Fucking
it
black-
seems
I
like
hate
you keep on saying
blackboards.
that we don't know X, we don't know X. So what is your current scientific hypothesis as to the origin of life? And if it's not God, how is that? Or if it is God, how is that not a God of gaps?
Scientifically, I have no idea. To say you have no idea doesn't mean that you're saying God of the gaps. Imagine a man. In the
Right, that's what
1700s,
scientists
he asked him,
say.
are we going to have space flight? How on earth could he even know that? There was no flight at all, let alone space flight. Are we going to be able to land a man on the moon? He can't say. I am like a man standing in 1700 and you're saying, can we put people on the moon and bring them back? I have no idea. That is not God of the gaps to say you don't.
No, he's right in what he's saying, but he's also a dumbass calling it a scam, which means that, like, why even try? Like, okay, his man on the moon thing. It's like, you know, in the 1700s, can we land a man on the moon? Well, I don't know. Like, in his view, that stops completely there. Like, I don't know. It's pretty far up there. Guess we're just never gonna know because we shouldn't pursue that endeavor.
No.
It's frustrating.
Everybody wants to say God of the gaps because they want to say that they're very close. And this is why these guys say that they're going to get it in 2 years, in 3 years, in 5 years. And it keeps not happening. And these guys are getting old and they're retiring.
I don't...
Whoever keeps talking about his retirement. They're all going to die of old age before this thing is found.
I want to know where he's getting that these people are definitively like 100% saying that they're going to do this thing in 5 years. That doesn't... I don't know if I believe that. I'd need to see it, because a scientist usually would never make that kind of claim. Like, nobody can make 100% kind of claim. And that's interesting.
Their students are going to die of old age before we find this, because we're very far away. Because each year the
So
cellular
why even study it?
away because,
right?
Because we learn more about
God
the
damn it.
complexity of even the simplest of cells.
Next
I
question.
don't know.
So my very very brief response would be James doesn't know how life began, so there is a gap in his knowledge, but he believes that God created life because of religious scripture. So that's the God of the gaps. You can cry about it all you want. That's what you believe. So
Not wrong. Not wrong. Not wrong.
Please make sure that when you address your question, to say whether you're addressing it to either Mr. Farina, Dr. Tor, or both.
My question is for both Dr. Tor and Mr. Farina. It's simply put, what is one thing that they admire about each other's scientific
fuck
career?
all that. Fuck all that.
Let me start. This man has said multiple times that I have called him stupid. I have never called him stupid because I don't think he's stupid. I have said he's clueless on this topic. I have said he cannot read the scientific literature. That doesn't mean stupid. This man has become a musician, and then he went out, and in 2015, he started an educational site, which is huge. Stupid people can't do that. I admire him. This is an educational site.
It's
and
nice of him to
have
say, I
never called him
guess.
stupid because he's not stupid. He's not stupid. So I admire him for his educational site. And from what I understand, I'm not a musician. From what I understand, what people have said, he's an excellent musician. I admire him for that as well. His wife is here. He's a father. He has 2 children. I admire that a man can have a wife and 2 children and stay married and do these things these days. That is wonderful.
What?
That is wonderful. I admire that.
That's odd. It's a weird way of putting
admire
that.
the tenacity with which you stick to a script of lies. It's actually quite impressive. I never said Dave was stupid. I just said his content is a manure dump. I just said everything he says is wrong.
God
I said
damn.
He's clueless. I said he doesn't know
He is
chemistry.
so lucky he
again,
didn't get shot
who's used
being
my
in
content
Texas.
to pass his class? Anybody here? That's what I thought, James. He doesn't know chemistry.
Fuck.
Yet I'm helping your students. Isn't that interesting?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you like to retract any of these statements?
Yes.
Or perhaps all of
clueless
them?
on Origin of Life? No. Does Farina know chemistry? No.
I don't know
like
chemistry.
What? What?
Anybody
What?
can read a script. You saw
What?
tonight. The man could not speak without a script. He has people write it. You could do it. You could do
What?
it. You could do it. If they
2
put a piece
minutes
of
to
paper
talk.
in front of you.
You write and you speak.
Okay, next
Efficiency.
question.
That's so-
means
I don't even
He
know.
can't speak chemistry.
Next
Every
question.
time I ask him a question, he's going through his, let me see what I can find
James,
here.
if you
The man
can't-
couldn't speak.
If you
What?
can't admit that every statement on there is complete bullshit, You are admitting your fraudulence
Gentlemen,
for everyone.
we
No,
want to make sure.
I'm not withdrawing any of those.
We want to make sure people have a
Doesn't
chance to
know-
ask questions. Next question.
Dr. Tour, it seems like most of your critiques rest on so far unjustified assumptions, so I would like to give you the opportunity here to justify at least one of those assumptions. The very first one, your very first question to Dave, seems like you admit that you can form peptide bonds for some of the amino acids in aqueous solutions without protecting groups. You point out specifically lysine and arginine, and I would like to ask, why are you assuming that lysine and arginine and all 20 amino acids were there from the very first, the origin of life? Yeah, could you just justify that assumption for us? Why couldn't
Well,
you
amino acids have been found in like meteorites and stuff.
30 seconds.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
My contest on the amino acid claims was he kept saying amino acids are simple to make in water. That's what he said in his series.
That
Then, when challenged on that, he came out later and he said, when activated. When you activate them, they go from being zwitterionic to being non-zwitterionic. This is what I was getting at. So somebody coached him on this. Tour must be right on the activation. Now, to your next question. Could there have been life with half of the amino acids? We have no idea, even with half.
Therefore,
even if I
why
did with
even
half of the
research it,
amino
right?
acids. Now what? Now what? Let me tell you, because if you have 100 amino acids, the chances of getting anything with prescribed information is say you have half of them, is 10 to the 100th. Yes, it is. Now, the chances of that.
It is because I say so, God damn it.
The chances of it folding are what? 10 to the 90. All right.
Okay.
So Leventhal paradox. So one form. But
Shit, I didn't
Leventhal
sleep.
paradox.
God damn it.
No way. The
God
vast
damn it.
majority do not fold.
Time is up
They
for
don't
that
fold.
question. Next question on this side.
I'm dumb.
So, I was just wondering, what's your opinion on Tour just constantly yelling over you, not letting you speak, and just screaming the entire time? Okay, you can't say anything.
Hey, look at everyone
ruptured
doing
my
that right
eardrum.
now to the question, right? Yeah, you guys are all
Yeah,
the
and that's
same.
really all I want to say. I just want to know why. Why do you think he's doing it? Why is he just yelling over you the entire time?
Well,
That's
the
funny.
more he yells, the less I can say, and the less I can prove him wrong, right? It's a pretty obvious tactic.
Yup.
Next question.
All right, my question is for Tor. So I was just wondering, when it comes to self-replicating ribosomes, which we talked about in step number 5, and there was a concept of if it was 100% or 10% or 20%. And so my question for you is, how could we set up an experiment to tell how much of a ribosome actually self-replicates, and so we can measure if it's 10 or 100, for example?
It's all been measured. These experiments have all been done. They will say they will make 7%. It's always less than 10. That's not to say it will always be less than 10. I presume that we will come to a time when somebody replicates a ribosome. So what?
Not
Now
if it's a scam and people shouldn't be
ribosome.
researching it, like
The
he
first
said.
Ribosome, you have this 2-5 problem. You
Goalpost
can't make the
shifting.
ribosome. You can't do a duplication until you make one. And so here we have it. We can't make the first one. I'm just asking you for the first one. That's all.
Quick
But he
response.
gave them all of that.
The first fully self-replicating ribosome was done in 2002 by Gerald Joyce. This is not new chemistry.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is,
Next
though.
question.
What?
That's not
Next
true.
question.
What?
This side.
You can't just say it's not
Let
true.
me know, I wrote my
Like-
question out ahead of time so I wouldn't have to, so I could be intentional with my words and not waste everybody's time rambling. Dr.
Thank
Tor, you spoke of making the charitable choice to treat your interlocutor as you would
Okay,
any
start
grad student.
over again.
Sorry.
I missed it.
Dr.
Say
Tor.
it more slowly.
Dr. Tor, you spoke of making the charitable choice to treat your interlocutor as you would any grad student. Considering the nature of your disagreement and the form of it, in the broader context of the relationship between students and advisors at academic institutions, what is the nature of this graduate student advisor relationship? And does this mean that you treat all of your graduate student mentees in the same manner as Mr. Farina?
Oh, that's a good point. Because he did say he was going to treat him like a grad student. If he treats them like he does here,
I like that one.
pretty
often
fucked up.
confront my graduate students. Often. If
Like
you don't
that?
like the way I teach, you don't have to work in my group. But I train them very, very well. If they're going to speak nonsense, I will challenge them every time. If they're going to speak nonsense, I challenge them every time. This is education. If it bothers you to be educated, then that's you and your
God damn it.
generation. But I'm telling you, this is the way we educate. We
By
challenge
yelling at people?
and we challenge them to do well, and we will maintain those standards. And in my laboratory, in my group meetings, we will
God.
maintain those standards.
Dude, chill the fuck out.
Would you say any of these things to your graduate students?
Next question.
Dude needs to take a fucking chill pill. God damn.
Since Dr. Tour's worldview was a major part of your argument, I'm curious to ask about your worldview. Coming from a more materialistic view of the world, a naturalistic view, a debate presupposes the ability of people to actually think rationally, and I know someone might be tempted to say right now, well, there was no rational thought in this debate. But setting that aside, what do you actually think people are capable of thinking rationally if ultimately
Can you not
what exists
flurry
are
rush
cells
them?
in our brains that react chemically with no meaningful difference from
30
indigestion?
seconds.
And
Can people think rationally
yeah,
if the world is
how
materialistic?
is rational thought possible in a naturalist worldview?
We have brains, and the way brains
Oh,
work.
fuck off with that.
You're trying to pretend that rationality presupposes divinity or something? Is that what you're doing?
Correct, yeah.
So no, I reject that. We exist. We have rational thought. We can observe these things. There's no evidence that a God exists, so we can try to explain it physically.
They're not gonna like that. Being from Texas.
Yeah, and it's not. So, I mean, I just don't know what to say. We have no evidence that a God exists, yet we can use reason.
Okay,
We've been
we're
elucidating.
Gonna have to go to the next question.
Okay.
We're out of time. Next question.
Sorry, I'm kind of. I came from Georgia just to like watch this debate.
Damn.
Wow.
Quite a long way.
My biggest thing is, do you like? I'm talking to. Do you believe in free will?
That's a good question. I actually don't know. I think I do. No, I don't have a very strong.
So when you say you don't
opinion
know,
on
does
it.
that mean there's a God of the gaps there?
No, it just means I don't know. But thanks for jumping in there, James.
That was actually a pretty good
Definitely
retort from
feels
James.
like I do,
Not gonna lie.
But then again, I
It
understand.
was pretty
like,
good.
You know, the idea of just like responding to stimuli in a mechanical way. I feel like a fly doesn't have free will, or a bacterium certainly doesn't. So I don't know at what point free will would emerge. What I do know is that if there's an omnipotent, omniscient God who knows everything you do before he's even created you, you factually do not have free will. So I know that.
Yup.
Next question.
My question is for Professor Dave. In one of your videos, you stated, how about this approach from Bruce Lepschitz of UC Santa Barbara? He's a synthetic organic chemist just like you, James. He has devised some interesting methods of using, to forming peptide bonds
Hey,
in
what's
water
going on?
at room temperature. In response
How's it
to
going?
this, Bruce himself, in an email to Dr. Tour, said,
This shit is wild.
the video, and he's referring to the video.
Definitely going to upload my reaction on a YouTube.
That he was referring to something done in a hydrophobic,
Very heated
that
debate.
means repellent to water, a hydrophobic pocket.
We're over 30 seconds.
And essentially, my question to you is, do you admit that it actually did not occur in water, but actually outside of water?
Yeah, and I also in that video said that his methodology is not prebiotically relevant. I was just getting a chemist to dunk on James. It's really funny.
Oh, nice.
Next question.
Like, if you want a clue, then we need a fact and evidence, right? So if we're talking
Shit,
about the origin of
maybe.
life and how this happens,
I've been-
one of the facts and evidence.
I've been following them for about 2.5, 3 years of them going back and forth on abiogenesis. I really, really wish I could have gone to this. I didn't know it was happening in Rice, which is like 3.5 hours south of me. Fuck. I had no clue. I would have totally gone.
The combination
Hey.
of embryology and the
Hold on.
molecular clock and the fall.
I follow him. That is Aaron Raw.
Next question.
Very big person in
My
the
question is
atheist
for
community.
Professor Dave, in one of your videos, you stated, how about this?
Oh, we already listened to that.
Referring to the
Like, if you want a clue, then we need a fact and evidence.
He also in that video said that his methodology is not prebiotically relevant.
Okay,
I was
sorry.
expecting a chemist to dunk on James. It's really funny.
It's a long video. It's like 2 hours long.
Next question.
Like, if you want a clue, then we need a fact and evidence, right? So if we're talking about the origin of life and how this happens, one of the facts and evidence would be the combination of embryology and the molecular clock and the fossil record and so forth, and demonstrated observed evolution and everything, that we know that there's no vertebrates, no terrestrial vertebrates 300 million years ago. There's no land animals at all 400 million years ago. There's
Right.
no vertebrates at all 500 million years ago, and so on. Protists at best are maybe a billion years ago, and prior to that,
We're
we
at
have
30
the
seconds.
first microscopic anything's alive would be 3.8 billion years ago, and so there's nothing multicellular for that whole billion years. Wouldn't that be an indication that it happened, since prior to that there's nothing at
Oh
all?
shit. Oh, I do have to go up.
We are
That's right.
obviously here. So that we are here tells us that something happened. What we are trying to discern is how that might have happened. I don't contest that we're here. I don't contest that there were cells. I don't know what you're getting at. That we are here already tells us that this can be done. From immaterial, you get material. I think.
Right, but his standpoint is that it's a scam, which means why research it anyway? That's what I don't like.
We all believe that. We all concede to that.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Next question.
Uh-oh.
My question is for
That,
James
oh
Jordan.
shit. That's about to be
you made
real
a very
bad.
big deal earlier of the way that there are too many 2,5 linkages in non-enzymatically replicated RNA. But that is, of course, limited to the specific chemical non-enzymatic RNA replication mechanisms that we currently know about. So my question is, does it really seem so extremely unlikely to you that there is some currently unknown
God damn it.
non-enzymatic
God
process
damn
that
it.
yields
God damn it. God
2,200
damn it.
linkages, or that early RNA were still able to form useful structures despite having more 2,5 linkages?
Son of a bitch.
Okay, so certainly
Come
there
back.
might be chemistry out there.
Come
that
back.
Takes
It's
a
gone.
nucleotides
God
and
damn
makes
it.
pure 3,5 unbranched RNA. Of course, there might be 3' 5' linked to RNA. Of course, there might be that. What I am saying that as of today, we don't have it. That's all I'm saying. That's not to say that we can't.
And it's a scam, so why try and get it? Right?
But even if we have the RNA, it doesn't solve the problem. There's many other things that happen to happen. You have to get a code to the RNA. The RNA is unstable. Now, most chemists, you're a chemist, most chemists have
God
never
damn
worked
it.
with single molecules. I have.
Fail.
Because we do something called molecular electronics. When you have a single molecule of something, it doesn't last very long. The half-life of an
Why is
RNA
Britney
at room
Spears in my
temperature,
background?
Let's say is 100 days. It's generous.
What?
Let's say is 100 days. If you have a 300-mer and the half-life is 100 days, the half-life of that one molecule is 100 days divided by 300. It's 8 hours. It's 8 hours. When you have the reason as chemists we can work with these compounds is because we have moles of them.
We're at 1 minute.
Dave doesn't understand this. He thinks because a peptide linkage lasts 7 years, that in a single molecule of a 300-mer, that's never going to break for at least 7 years. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. You have to take the half-life and bring it back to a probability. When you have one molecule of anything, it doesn't last long. If you have a 200 of a polypeptide, that lasts 9 days.
Gish Gallop is like barraging somebody with so much they obviously can't answer.
Also well-researched.
Just from the
Another
sheer
example
like
of,
quantity
James
that they're
hiding
talking about.
all the answers that he doesn't want to be there.
Next question.
No, that is on a surface that is not in water. It's not doing any reaction on that mineral. As soon as it gets in water, boom,
that
8 hours.
protect RNA
8
from
hours. 8 hours in water. That's it.
No,
Next
James.
question.
Wild.
No.
Wild.
Tour. You've said
Wild
in
shit.
podcasts and YouTube videos that you do not claim God as an explanation for the origin of life, and say that one day science may be able to explain all of it.
I said that in my introductory statement as well.
However, many of your following believe that your criticisms of origin of life is evidence for God. Will you denounce this thinking?
Criticism of origin of life is evidence for God. What did you say? What was the last part?
However, many of your following believe that your criticisms of origin of life is evidence for God. Will you denounce this thinking?
They can think whatever they stinking want to think. I'm not telling you.
Oh
what
shit,
people
bringing
think.
out
If you
those
think
dirty
you should-
words.
You should control what people want to think. I am telling you.
I might get
just
I might
because
get
we don't
banned.
have an explanation for
Thinking.
how life originated. I can't, as a scientist, say, therefore God made it magically happen and poofed it into existence. I can't say that as
Oh,
a
good.
scientist. That's all I say. I don't tell people what they can believe or
There-
not believe. That's up to them.
That's a qualifying thing that he said. As a scientist, he can't do it, but I mean, by his own admission, he's incredibly religious, so it's a very important qualifier.
This isn't. I'm not the Lord here.
Yeah, but that is what you believe, and that's why you lie about science, to protect that belief.
Thank you. Boo.
I mean, it's true.
Boo. Sorry.
Next question, please.
That's the case.
Next question, please.
From learning from you two guys and wanting to be here as a neutral, I wanted to be persuaded and convinced. Thank you, Dr. Tour, because not only have you reassured that my path is opening, that there are doors that are still need to be open.
What?
Then from the fallacies, the mountain of fallacies that the gentleman next to you opened today, I wanted to see if there's
Like
a possibility
what?
for you to look into his cosmological work.
Wait,
and-
say that again. I
I
missed.
want you to please look at his cosmological work and analyze it the same way that you do your expertise.
Why?
So that you can entertain how he bridges all those gaps and how he promotes a construct that is flawed not
We're
only
over
in the
30
ways that you're
seconds.
seeing, but in the others.
Please
So
answer your
please,
I don't-
question.
yeah, the question is just to please, if you give us the opportunity online to see you analyzing his work in cosmology.
What work in cosmology?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
he
I don't work
doesn't
in
have-
cosmology,
what?
But I can't learn another area. I'm sorry about that.
Do you found my electric universe debunks and you don't like that or something? Like, what do you, oh, okay. So,
That's funny.
That's another
Please.
debate.
Next question,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, I mean, that's all a bunch of frauds that you're following, but that's fine.
He is so
my
fucking
question is
like
for Dr.
blunt.
Dr.
It's
Tour,
wild.
given the significance of criticisms that you have on current research in the origin of life field, and given your prolific history of publishing, my question is, why aren't you publishing your critiques in reputable journals? Why are you...
That's actually a good point.
All right.
Why are you denying the scientific community the benefit of your expertise? Why are you limiting your critiques to Discovery Institute publications and YouTube that the researchers you're talking about don't look at?
30 seconds is over.
That's a really good point.
Okay. First of all, it's very hard for me to publish a critique that is negative because it has to get peer review. But that's not the main reason. There have been many critiques like this. So Bob Shapiro wrote critiques. Carnes Smith wrote a whole book on his critique of this. Clement Riker has more recently written his
What does that have to do with
all of them speaking the same type
anything?
of things that I am saying. These guys continue on as if it was never written. I am not trying to reach the origin of life researchers. I am trying to reach the masses. And there is something
Why?
called social medium that is allowing me to reach the masses that never read the primary literature. I'm not trying to convince the origin of life researchers.
So what he's saying right here is that he's trying to give the people that don't understand anything his own worldview, but he's not going to try and convince the actual people doing the research. Why? Because he knows that they would probably debunk it. So why even try to go that route instead of like going the route of making all these other people that know nothing convinced that you're right, when he can't prove that he's right because he won't submit his shit to the actual researchers doing the research right now. It's interesting.
I am trying to show the masses that there is another way of looking at this data. I am going after the people that do not read the scientific literature. That,
That's-
to me, is what I want to do.
That's not something
And
to be proud of.
just so that you know, I'm not a YouTube guy like this guy is. I sit in my office and I work very hard at
You
this.
make a
I'll turn on
lot
my,
of YouTube
I'll
videos
turn on
for
my
not
camera.
being a YouTube guy, buddy.
and
It's not
my
wrong.
camera is
Not
on,
wrong.
And I forgot to have the sound turned on properly. It takes me hundreds of hours to do a series like that.
One
I could
second is
certainly
over,
write
Dr. Schur.
articles in that amount of
The
time.
translation
I've
of
chosen
this is,
to
I
use
can't
this
publish
medium.
my critiques because they're full of lies, so I'll lie to the public.
That's exactly what I said. It's like fucking exactly
We
what
have
I said.
time for just one more question. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, so my question is for both Dr. Tor and Professor Dave. My question is, I think that this debate has kind of strayed from the original premise of are we clueless
I agree.
about
I
the
agree.
origin of life? So if both of you could, using examples from the primary literature, Dr. Tor, I'd appreciate it if you could explain why we are clueless beyond a doubt, that there is no, that we are clueless about the origin of life. And Professor Dave, I would like you to explain why we are 100% not clueless about the origin of life.
Okay, you go first. Go ahead.
So, really, James, all you can do is just write the word clueless a bunch of times. So we're not, right? All this research we've been talking about,
Right.
Despite his objections.
See, the issue with here is that Tor has an uphill battle because all that Dave has to do is give one example that we are not clueless, and he's won the debate. And I think he's done that in spades.
We do have prebiotically plausible synthetic pathways to all of the important biomolecules and systems chemistry. It's only been going about 20 years, but again, he pretends the research doesn't exist. I would like to point out he made a 10-hour series about abiogenesis and never brought up replicators once. What more proof do you need how clueless he is and how much he is hiding from this research? We certainly would never say we know exactly how life began. That
Right.
would be ridiculous. But we are far from clueless. We have a mountain of research. For James to train people to say that we've never done anything since Miller-Urey in the 50s is the most insane lie imaginable. It's
I
been
agree with
70
that.
years of incredible research, especially in the past
100%.
20, what we've been doing with systems chemistry. It's astounding work. Will we ever figure out exactly how life began? Maybe not. Honestly, probably not. But it's only because we have so many ways it could have happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Where's my vehicle?
first of all that astounding work for 70 years. 70 years of Nobel Prizes, both in chemistry and physiology and medicine, which includes biology.
Did they
That's
despawn my
70 times 3
machine?
with 2 Nobel
Hmm.
Prizes. So you've got 210, 420 Nobel Prizes have been given since Miller-Urey was discovered. 0 have been
Jesus
given
fucking Christ.
for
Calm
paragraph
down.
life. 0. All this
Calm
wonderful
down.
Chemistry. 0. 420. 0. None have been given. You don't want me to
Science
say
isn't real if
clueless?
you don't get a
I
Nobel.
won't say clueless. How about I just agree with Cronin? Scam. How's that? Because you can't answer this. You can't answer that.
But no,
I say we're
that's so fucked up because we've made so much progress on that. Can we identify everything 100%? No. But that doesn't mean it's a scam. Tor is a fucking idiot at this point.
The unraveling of a lunatic.
Okay.
Okay, well, this concludes the question and answer session, but you're in luck. Both individuals have agreed to stay on. If you want to come up and ask further questions, maybe engage in more debate if you haven't had enough.
You're very welcome.
Is there more? No, there's not. Okay.
We don't know who's cheering for who, I guess.
They're cheering for Tor because this is his home campus. It's not very neutral. What do I need? Oh, a fan. Do I have a fan?
So travel safely back. If you want to come up, again, they'll stay for a while and answer any individual questions you may have.
Oh, they're gonna hang around. I got you. Oh, holy shit. That was really fucking intense. And goddamn. I do not have the balls like Dave did to say some of the shit that he did. Like, I'm a goddamn doormat. People walk all over me. But I could probably be like him with about 6 or 7 shots of vodka in me. Just to be real. Anyway, that was absolutely insane. Definitely gonna throw that up on YouTube. Holy shit. There's something else I wanted to watch. Give me a minute. What did I have teed up? Sorry. That was wild. I've never seen a debate like that. Well, presidential debates come pretty close. All right. Change my title. Okay, cool. Damn. 2 hours and 45 minutes already? Holy shit. This is great. This is a fun video to watch. Very tense. Like, really tense. How are you doing? Whoever's here. Better than me, hopefully. Not a hard bar to clear. Fuck. Wait, what? The hell? That was weird. Alright, I'm gonna turn that other light off. There's still a really bright light in here. I don't know why my camera is so incredibly dark. Holy shit. Okay. I learned this song today. I knew it one time before, but I forgot it, but I relearned it today. Pretty good, too. Oh, I didn't really mean to go that way, but okay. I need to get... Where am I going? Over there. Okay. I've got to go and stock up on fans. I do not believe this is gonna work. I have to get like way up there. I think that's where I'm going. God damn it. Oh, late night. It's already 2. Yeah, that was so fun. So I could beat the game right now. I don't think I will for a while, though. God damn. It's like really, really high. Oh wait, I was... God damn it. I was facing the wrong direction. That's okay. I played this in a band one time in college. How cliche. It's like college band. Guitarist. We were so nerdy. Still am, to be fair. I'm like emotionally drained from that. Wait, did I came here already. God damn it. That is not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go... down there. That's where I want. I don't even know if anything's down here. Huh. Really? Nothing? Nothing is down here. Well, shit. Okay. Did I... Was there a chest I missed? I've been rewatching Supernatural. Fuck, that show is so good. I forgot it. I forgot how good it was. I kept up with it pretty much since it began airing. So fucking good. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Maybe I can position myself as just like a stream that people turn on and fall asleep to, since I stream so goddamn late. But I should probably shut my mouth if I'm gonna do that. Nobody wants to hear that while they're streaming. Fuck. Down below. Oh shit, there it is. Okay. Cool. More rare shit. Hell yeah. I knew something was over here. I just didn't know where. I fucking knew it. All right, what do we got? Opeth. I've been getting back into Opeth like a lot lately. They are so fucking good. Okay. I've been here. That's pretty obvious. I don't know how I didn't see that. Huh. Okay. Cap of the Wild. According to legend, this cap is crafted for a hero who travels to Wildlands. So we're getting Breath of the Wild Link tunic, which I didn't know that he had a specific, like, original tunic. I did not know that. And I still don't have like an entire set other than the Dark Link. Yeah. Yeah. Not worth it. Ooh. Okay. I'm assuming he drops it? Maybe? Yeah, okay, yeah. It is on his, Alright, that's fine. Not a problem. Oh, it's only a 1? Okay. Shouldn't be an issue. Well, if I use a goddamn stick, it will. Yeah, that's a pretty fucking big difference. Shit. What? That's weak. Whatever. It's fine. Huh. My sister's been going to bed like really early. She's usually in here. Really, I didn't get that yet. Holy shit. I may have not been here yet. I don't remember railing. I guess I haven't. That's weird. I remember coming here, but maybe not. Miner's trousers. Okay. Cool. All right, back to it. I don't know if I've even been anywhere over there. Like, at all. Oh, it's pretty cool. They import your horses from Breath of the Wild. I mean, if you like that. I rarely use horses. Maybe if I do like a no fast travel run through at some point, they're probably really, really useful. Am I even like high enough to get there? Don't know if I am. Okay. a lot here. I think I need to get over there. See if I can put that there and then I want that to like go forward. Oh shit, we have momentum. Okay. It's actually really helpful. I don't know if I've been here or not. I feel like I have. Maybe. Maybe I need to go over there. I think I can do that. Maybe. Try the same trick. Over there. Shit, I have no clue where I've been, or where I haven't. I feel like I've been there. Maybe not. Actually, maybe not. This has got to be something here. Probably on that construct. Alright, what did I get? Bomb, light, rocket, wheel. Yeah, not awful. I'm getting like radar from that way. Maybe it's over there. Yeah, it's gotta be here. Jinnadak Shrine. Is that like a gyroscope over there?
So far away from where we can crawling lives. Come into this night when days are done. Lost in the stream.
I'm gonna assume it's over there. Actually, it's right there. Shit. Okay. fuck do I do this?
Saw you benighted by your pride. Coming to this night, you'd like a low. Carry away your Lord as all of us. Coming to this night, your only hope. It's never too late.
I don't quite understand.
Came and distorted your sight. Saw you benighted by your pride.
Okay. Oh. I don't know how to get it to like go up and down. Let's see. It like kinda moves up and down, but not really. I don't know about that. Oh shit. How am I gonna get that chest? Maybe I just shoot it. Dive down after it. Oh, come on. There. I'm coming. Wait, where did it, what the, wait, what? Where did it go? Did it like despawn? The fuck did that go? I did not think it would despawn. Huh, okay. Weird. Dude, that was it, right? I think it was. Hope I can make it. I don't know. It's gonna be a close one. Unless it's already on. Oh, it is. Never mind. Yeah. I'm dumb. Okay. Is it back there? It's a huge question. It looks to have... Yep, okay. Alright, huh. I am very confused about how to orient this. Do I like hit that or something? I don't know how to get that to turn up like I want it to. So if I pull back, it doesn't actually do anything. Do I like hit it? I do. Okay. Maybe. Can I like pull that back or like what is happening here? Okay, it is actually falling under its own weight. I think that's what I want. Can I like push it maybe? Not really. Kind of. Damn it. It's very like awkward. I don't even know if my chest is still there. If I broke it. Oh, it is. There it is. Okay. So I need that middle one up. Let's see. I can't like directly control it. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss on this one. I can rotate it, but I can't rotate it like on the whatever plane that is. See, it's right there. That's not great. I wonder if I can attach that and maybe move it up. Up. Move up. God damn it. Shit. That is not helping. I guess I could drive one of those things over here and get it that way. Maybe. Oh shit. Ugh. Okay. Move that middle one up. But how? What if I could do it with a wheel? Oh wait, I think I know. What if I got that out? Oh shit. God damn it! I've never used those things at all once in like 160 or 70 hours I've played this. Not once used the time bomb. Try that. I think I want it here. Alright, let's see what that does. I think it might be working. Okay. I want that. I do not give a flying fuck about anything else right now. Oh, thank God. I was assuming I could climb that. Did not know. For sure. Okay. So, how is this gonna work? Apparently like that. Cool. God, I need more arrows really bad. Watch it be nothing. Oh, okay. Maybe not. If you pour water over lava, it creates a patch of igneous rock. Yep, figured that out a little while ago. Like 75 hours ago. Appreciate it though. We're here. I really need to complete a set of those ancient tunics. Ideally Twilight Princess. It's my favorite traditional 3D Zelda game. Huh. Tunic of the Hero. Cool. Alright, we have all of that now. Like the original Zelda tunic. Like the very OG. Cap of the Hero, Tunic of the Hero, and Trousers of the Hero. It's like Zelda 1 Link. Very cool. So funny. I don't even have any of the Ocarina of Time shit except for the pants. So that's an issue. That was at 3:30. I don't think I've been over there. Yeah, let's try that. I need to learn this song on guitar. Midness Lament. It's a pretty good, like, synth-wavy remix. Kind of. I need to go over there. Which would be... Am I missing something? Put about 165, 170 hours into the game, I think. Somewhere around there. Way too many hours for it to only have been out a week and a half. Way too many. I could easily beat the game right now, but I kind of want to do everything in it before I do it. I mean, to be fair, I probably could and then just go back and get everything. That's what I did in Breath of the Wild. But I don't know. Blue pen. Okay. Wait. There it is. Oh, it's actually way down there. I'm trying to soak up as much lore as I can so I can hit my Zelda channel running. I don't know how into Zelda you are, but been meaning to make that a long time, and I think it's time. It's a bunch of stuff to talk about. Oh, okay. I have, oh, wait. I have the complete Wind Waker shit? I did not realize that. It is, 100%. It's my, childhood. I fell in love with The Link Between Worlds because it was like the sequel to Link to the Past. I fucking loved it. Probably my favorite handheld Zelda game, like easily. Definitely like top 3 favorite Zelda games of all time too. I fucking love that game. And I never want to speedrun it either. Because I don't want to, I don't want to lose the magic of that game. Because I've just played it so much when I was young. with Metroid. Like, I'll never play Metroid, Super Metroid, the intended route again. I just won't do it because I speedrun it. I don't want that to be the case with A Link to the Past. You've never played A Link Between Worlds? Holy shit. Yes, you should play it. Fuck, it's so good. It's so fucking good. I think I played through it entirely online on YouTube when I streamed it. I think I might have done it before I made the YouTube channel though. It may be lost to the winds. Yeah, 100%. It's so fucking good. I like it much like why I like Twilight Princess, because I love Ocarina of Time so much, and Twilight Princess is like an extension of that. And it's like the same way that A Link Between Worlds is kind of an extension of A Link to the Past. But to be fair, like Twilight Princess is way blown up, you know. A Link Between Worlds, if you're familiar with like the overland of that game, you're gonna be right at home. I guess it's more like Twilight or Tears of the Kingdom is to Breath of the Wild, because it's like the same like overworld, but it's different. Obviously, they've added all kinds of shit to it. That's how A Link Between Worlds is to A Link to the Past. Alright, where am I going? What am I doing? Good. Oh, you need to go over there. What have you been playing recently? I really want to play something else, but this game just has its flaws in me. I think I told you about an indie game. I think I told you the wrong one the other day. Hold on a second. I think I told you I had just gotten a game called Beyond Contact, when I meant to say Star Control Origins. That's the game I really want to like play relatively soon. It looks real fun. Beyond Contact is pretty fun too. All right. Power Chord, is that a music-based game? I ran across Floodland. I didn't really look into it though, but that's familiar. I'd love to get into like a big strategy game like Crusader Kings, but that shit takes a long time to learn. If I'm gonna do any strategy game right now, it's gonna be Age of Wonders 4. That just came out, and I've booted it up and fucked around with it for about half an hour, and it looks like it's really, really fun. Way better than Age of Wonders 3. And Age of Wonders 3 was a great game, don't get me wrong. But it was very... There wasn't a lot to it, Age of Wonders 3. It was like factions, like elves and whatever your other fantasy shit is, but Age of Wonders 4 is like you create your own faction. It's completely different than 3, but looks so fun. Yeah, those those strategy games, they're like that. It's you get you get out what you put into it time-wise. And I know that, like, once you hit a certain level that you know what the fuck you're doing, it becomes, like you said, like digital crack. But getting to that point is just super difficult for the sheer, like, complexity of it all. Like, I would love to do that with Endless Space 2 or Endless Legend. Those are both really, really good, especially Endless Legend. Okay. How do I get over there? Oh, I need to get over there. And, oh, I see. Yeah. Also, RimWorld. I want to go back to RimWorld. I never put in the time that I really want to for that game. It looks so much fun. Or, it is so much fun. And I've barely scratched the surface. It's kind of loud. I haven't played a game like this, though. Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played a game like that in a long time. I think the last time I really got into a game this much was, weirdly enough, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Something about that game just fucking hooked me. And I don't necessarily like Greek stuff or anything like that. And I tried Valhalla. Valhalla didn't do it for me, like, at all. But fuck, I poured hundreds of hours into Odyssey. Let's try this. Cool. All right. I'm a big Zelda timeline theorist, but at this point, nothing makes sense. They have an official timeline that they put out, but it's completely, like, it works on its own until we get to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Then their official quote-unquote timeline makes absolutely no goddamn sense. And I'm going to talk about it for like a billion videos. I think the biggest thing that threw me for a loop was, I think it was last night, I got the, what is it called? The white sword of, the white sword of something. Do I still have it? I don't know if I do. It may have broke. I need to buy another one. Anyway, it was from Skyward Sword, and it's like the sword of the goddess. But that sword becomes the Master Sword. So Link already has the Master Sword. So how the fuck did I find that, like, progenitor of the Master Sword? That makes no goddamn sense. Unless we're talking about, like, multiple of those swords, maybe? We're clearly, like, missing a really big part of the timeline as it stands right now. Because the Rito, the bird people, and the Zoras should not be in the same world, because the Rito evolved from the Zoras in Wind Waker. And that's like the child timeline, I believe. So I have no idea how you reconcile the Rito and the Zora. Unless you just say, oh, there's Zora from another place in the world, and they didn't evolve. But I don't know. It's fun speculation. Nobody really knows. It doesn't really matter. It's a goddamn video game. But know how nerds like to argue. Who could win in a fight? Superman or Goku? Shit like that. It doesn't matter. Like, at all. Shit, God damn it. It's another chest. Crap. How am I gonna do this? And also have that Zelda tabletop RPG I've been working on that I really, really would love to finish and get out in some kind of playable form. And since we have Tears of the Kingdom, I'm probably just going to have to do a complete rework. Keep my system, my dice system that I have, but just change a ton of shit. Or not change, I don't know. Rethink a lot of things, I guess. Which sounds bad, but it's actually really good, because since Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom came out, there's so much world building that's already been done, like with equipment and things like that. It's gonna be much, much quicker to turn around. And then the, like, nanosecond I release it, Nintendo's gonna snipe me. They do not like people doing fan work of their shit. Which is a shame. I wonder, is that... Shit, there it is. Fuck. Is that over the platform? I hope. Only one way to find out. Oh yeah. Nice. Alright, what you got for me? You've already found the treasure shown on this old map. God damn it. Already beat myself to it. Well, shit. Where haven't I been now? Maybe over there? What's the next big game coming out? Diablo 4, I think? When does that come out? Oh shit, actually pretty soon. June 6th. I thought it was late June. There's something coming out like right before my birthday. Like June the 20th, I don't know what it is. Final Fantasy, that's the thing. First one I won't be playing on launch that times. Is Street Fighter coming to PC? Do you know? I did not mean to do that. I should really color this frame green. Yeah, like that. Is it on launch day? I don't have a PS5. Where was I going? Oh, over there. Okay. I guess we're gonna be getting a lot of presentations and stuff. It's E3 season, even though E3's canceled. All right. Did I already go over there? Oh, I don't think I have. Shit. Oh yeah, and I didn't even do that. Okay. I need to go over there. I don't know how to clear up that storm, though. Oh, is it like... No, it's not down there. I bet it's... Oh, never mind. It's down there. Okay. I'm good. I do not believe I've been here yet. have been here. God damn it. I just fucking completely overshot that. Son of a bitch. And my headphones died. All right. I don't think that did anything for me.
Dust has only just begun to fall. Crop circles in the carpet, sinking feeling. Spin.
Okay, I need to get up there. And up there.